could not convert on a close one by George and a misfire. Here's Flagg. A three off the front iron. Duke with another offensive rebound. Flagg again. 0 for 2. Knippel back out for Flagg. Trying to get around Powell, and a strong move using that window.
And then left hand also, we talked about it. He is one of the best when you think.
Higher in the North Carolina game, but no longer. It's fascinating if that can have an effect in a game like today.
It really can, because when you consider the way that the Blue Devils have started this game, it's just different. A little shorthanded against in the big game.
Maxime Reynaud, another big performance for Stanford. Cooper Flagg got it up there, but misfires in close. A loose ball, and pop.
The miss by Duncan Towell. They're still shooting 50% from 3.
Flagg trying to take the baseline. Went for the dunk, and he's denied by Ndongo, who skied up for the rejection. Credit Georgia Tech's defensive pressure and how energized they are. No easy shots. Here's Flagg. And another miss from three-point land.
Spectacular block by the diminutive point guard for North Carolina.
Cadeau all of 6-1 with an incredibly impressive defensive play, and Cooper Flagg. Malawach back to Proctor. Missed a game last week with a knee injury. Returned Monday against Wake. Flagg open again. This one won't go. And it's down to Withers. Like a jump shot and left it a little bit short.
And so many of Duke's rebounders can take the ball and just go. They don't even need to outlet it.
Like Flagg, off the glass, no. Down to Cadeau. Withers and Van Allen Lubin, the two big guys, front court players who start and are in the game right now for Carolina. Flagg the pull-up, no. And Withers comes down for the rebound.
A nice job by Drake Powell.
Flagg trying to drive on Withers. The pull-up will go.
How much game does he have? And he's Withers ran the baseline. Malawach lost him. Proctor couldn't get to him.
Flagg will get the roll to bring Duke back within 1.
11 Duke turnovers in this game, only 3 North Carolina turnovers.
And the Heels have not missed a shot in the second half. Flagg going to work on Withers.
Right hand drive, then getting back to that left hand.
Into Flagg in the corner. Tough one, won't go, and it's down to Withers.
Excellent defense by Jalen Withers. Times down. They need to move the ball in order to move the defense and then attack it.
Flagg not there, and Washington down with a one-handed rebound.
Flagg settled there against
force, and it's off the side of the backboard.
That is not what Carolina wants.
It gets Duke out in transition, and Flagg flushes it.
R.J. Davis.
Again, Duke statistically one of the best defensive teams in the nation this year. Flagg, no. Flagg again. Carolina ball. Is offensively.
Oh, he is definitely a two-way player.
Foster. It bounces out to a wide open Flagg. And the rebound down to Cadeau.
Buddy away.
They're on a 7-game winning streak, and those 7 wins came by an average of 32 points per game. And one of those was out of conference.
This entire game for North Carolina. 6 offensive rebounds, and 4 of them have been team rebounds, which meant the ball just went out of bounds, and they kept it.
And Flagg just drove it about 40 feet. And
Cooper Flagg tried to bump him off his spot, and see how far it is that Flagg actually is trying to post up. So that's part of the recipe.
Flagg with a miss on the first one. A 4-2 lead. Cooper Flagg quiet so far. A long one. Nothing falling yet.
Well, Johnson, of course, a top 25 team early this year, and they had Hunter Silas primarily at the point guard position.
Flagg wide open for a triple. He's hitting 38%. He's made a couple.
It really is, and he's been able to make tough shots. He uses his size to elevate over the top, but look how quickly the Blue Devils get back down floor.
Flagg for an answer, but no. Malawach up and over everybody. Proctor's
zero idea that the shot clock was getting close to the end.
Flagg Flagg will drive it, leaning in, takes it, and makes the basket. He's headed to the line.
Corey, by the way, in that 2-on-1, there is no chance in the world you would have made that pass.
Zero.
You would have pulled up and shot a three. Who are you kidding?
Flagg with a misfire there. Malowacz, great save. And Duke opening up the second 20 minutes with a basketball. James going for Flagg. Went for the stop and he couldn't finish it.
And that one kind of got on Cooper quickly. The play was designed for him.
Down to 5. Down to 2. Malowacz have to lift, and that one well short. Flagg picks it off to the other side of the iron for 2.
Of course, who else would make the play? Get off it.
42-35. Wake trying to make a game of it. Flagg slamming on the brakes. Off balance to hit the shot.
Going off that one leg.
Cooper Flagg, the National Player of the Year candidate, will pull up and fire. Drain a three.
You remember our conversation talking about the sector
for James. Flagg again, working on Spillers, and a very difficult shot won't roll in. There is a whistle.
Thanks last night in that win for the Cavaliers over the Portland Trailblazers in overtime.
Flagg sizes one up, and yes, knocks down a three. Give him 20.
Being a much better defender.
Getting about 18 minutes a game. Flagg on the attack, and a foul 2.
And just like a broken record, finishes with his left hand offense and runs some time off the clock.
6 to shoot. Flagg pulls up and drains it.
From the exact spot where he just missed a free throw, right?
And everybody should have someone like this running their basketball program.
And she is the first general manager in college basketball. And we have heard other coaches.
Impressive, barely scratches the surface with her.
Yeah, Race is my little sis, of course. Former Nike executive.
Cooper Flagg with a two-hander.
Stayed on the board.
This is exactly how Leonard Hamilton likes his team to play. Make this game a bit of a mess and you'll have success, but only if you stop Cooper Flagg. Can't have that happen.
Davis. Flagg against Watkins. Short turnaround, bounces away. Malowacz tried to get position. Bowen, a nice job with the. This is the 3. Evans drawing his first career start tonight. Here is Flagg trying to get to the glass.
Oh my gosh.
And Malowacz the rebound. And James. Sion trying to get it to Cooper. Does. Strong against Nitu. Second field goal for the freshman.
Wes, you've had a bunch of contested shots a little better than that.
Boy, look at Gungba chase the offensive rebound down. And here's Flagg on the attack. Through traffic, put it up on the glass. And finally pulled away by Nitu. He's now
packing the lane and getting clubbed every time down. And they have their hands all over him.
Working against Maluk, and Flagg scores off the glass. 6 minutes into the second half, both teams are in the 1-1, and Duke by 26. And here goes Flagg. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just silly.
Tried to wrap it through traffic. Here is Flagg. Thomas in front of him. Cooper on the layup, and the tap follow got knocked out. Gungba. Harris a 3. That's 17 now. And Cooper Flagg with the steal. And here he goes. Lay it up.
My gosh. The ground covered off 2 dribbles.
His first shot. Who does he go right back to? Concanipple. That's maturity right there. 18 years old with maybe the highest IQ in the nation among basketball players. He hits a 3 by the way. Knipple fading away, left it short. Offensive rebound to Malowacz. Flagg driving. Flagg determined to get to the basket. And there is just about nothing you. Has it back, defended by Flagg, and Gungba intercepts the pass. Down the floor with Flagg. A bobble and then a finish. Wow. The body of college basketball, that it's year to year in so many ways. I mean, you see the banner 2023, that was just 2 years ago. This is a Final Four team. And now you're just fighting for relevance. They weren't sure if he was going to play. Took a hard fall on his back late in the Virginia Tech game. Flagg from Gungba. That three is off the mark. Kept alive by Gungba. Oh, that would have been a great combination. He never would have let me do it either. Proctor, great bounce pass from Flagg.
Oh, God.
And Flagg follows after the rejection.
They have a good rhythm into their shot because of the playmakers all over the floor.
Now, this is really smart.
Oh,
Duke
wow.
is so good going 2 for 1 at the end of halves. They don't get the basket there. Ukachuk, a fine finish. He has 8. Duke hustles it down the floor. Flagg drives it into Kidd. And Malawatch will be called for a push-off in his first foul. Nate McRae wrapped it around for a bad miss by Bethea. Flagg driving. Flagg fouled. Flagg finishes.
Flagg snatching down that rebound with one hand. Deflected. Loose. Squirts out. Flagg to the cup. Hangs in the air. Makes it down. This is the rebound. Knipple. New shot clock. Dookies. Flagg inside. Rims off. Batted around. Yakuchonis. No. Flagg. Two-hand rebound. He'll push it hard into the front court. Down the lane. On the move. Lefty glider. No. Tipped up and in. That's Patrick Gungba. Future Hall of Famers. I said nothing. It was easy for him. Look at him. Baseline. No. Got a hand on his own rebound and a whistle and foul. Knipple, Proctor, Flagg, James, Malawatch. Here's Flagg across the lane, down the lane. That will block Ivisic. Ball batted around, loose, out of bounds. Puchonis, Ivisic, Humrigaus. Ball stolen. Here's Flagg. Here comes Jay Tate. Wham! With the right hand. Can't get it to go. Flagg with a rebound.
And that's, I think, where some conditioning with Ivisic and not having his left.
This is the spin. Flagg off the bounce. Bump fake off the window softly and one. The main event. Flagg. Pull up three. The main. We've got a great story about his art of the negotiation with his head coach prior to starting. Flagg, 15-footer.
With the two-hand clutch.
Late in the shot clock, whittle that down, 5 or 6 seconds. Flagg on the drive, puts the shoulder down, banks it in. His first bucket, and puts Duke on the board.
And that's where
James keeps on trucking to the paint. He gets denied. Cooper Flagg wants that lane. That won't roll in. Battling for his own miss and spins it up and in.
One of the
shot clock down to 6. Gillis has trouble with it. Hits the deck. Gets it free. Shot clock at 2. Malawatch with the rebound. Another offensive board for Duke.
Yeah, if you were 3 inches taller, you wouldn't be here right now because you would probably been an NBA All-Star weekend.
That's right. Flagg on the attack, lays it in, not to be denied.
That left hand again. We've talked about that. Of course, you're not head
Down 37-25.
The issue is trying to stop Duke on this end of the floor. That's the problem. And again, it's not as though really anyone's been able to do it as Cooper goes to that left hand once again. But the Blue Devils are shooting 60.
The freshman spinning inside to his right now.
Should have shot the left hand. Yeah, he's 100% with the left hand right. Look at the last 2 possessions where Buchanan didn't get the finish and then Saunders doesn't get the finish. Those are 2 opportunities you had to cut into the lead.
Flagg going to, after his own miss, will turn and fire and swishes it in.
So John Shire went NBA style on that one, OB. And Con Knipple now with 12 points.
Flagg with a touch. 10 points, 11 rebounds already. Looking for that window again for 2 more. Both of those guys, Knipple and Flagg. Knipple on the drive, and that one denied. Kopi got up there high for the block, and stolen away by Cooper Flagg. Oh, he went for the dunk. Oh, right in his face, Robinson. And a great play by Robinson. Flagg outside the 3. Gives up the dribble. Gets it back. Here's the shot, and that won't drop. got back really well defensively to break it up.
Yeah, how about the play by Knipple? Not allowing the lob to go through, continuing to pursue as Cooper Flagg just bullies Andrew Rohde to the basket. Uses those wide.
Gorgeous campus.
So, Obi, this is where I got to correct you on that one. All right.
Not a campus, right?
See? I think we have the most beautiful grounds.
Grounds, yes. And you don't have freshmen. Cooper Flagg again. Here it comes. And left it short. And Robinson, who's really...
Which doesn't allow you to run your offense. Dickie V, when you were coaching and you come into a building and they won't let you run your offense, then what do after that?
Flagg straight on and off target on a triple.
You get out the prayer.
This one switched in by the big. The 7-footer Reynaud on the money.
They needed that big time.
Flagg trying to return the favor but can't do it.
What they're about, sharing the basketball, giving up a good shot for a great shot.
I'll tell you one thing, when you share the ball like that, there goes Mr. Boy, when he uses that left hand, he is so efficient with the left hand. He uses
the rim and does a great job of using that wingspan and his big hands to avoid shot blockers, going to the left hand and finishing off the glass.
He's coming up 27 against Cal, and he's on his way to another big one maybe today as he absolutely
going to make the pass.
He will back it out beyond the three-point line. Working on Reynaud, head-to-head, and up and in.
How good, how good. How you...
Flagg looking for some room, gets doubled up, a fall away.
That was a tough shot.
Malowich went for the save. Knipple read that perfectly.
Free ball coming from Slim right here. You see it. Cooper already sees him. Oh, he missed that one.
Turn around and... that glances away.
I thought that one was going to Showtime Slim. Isaiah handling the basketball against a 6-foot guy at the top of the key with no issues whatsoever.
The spin dribble, get away.
Gets the shot up there. Malowich with a follow, and it'll count.
Let an undefeated season. That younger brother, give it back.
Flagg to Knipple, over the top, and Flagg with a stop.
Or most likely in the coming years at NBA All-Star Weekend, where Kevin Hart, of course, normally is frequenting, but has a show here tonight, so not going to be part of NBA All-Star festivities this weekend.
Kevin's got a
shooting spark off the bench.
You know, they've done all right from three-point territory. They made 7 of them. Here's Flagg to try one, but too strong. Knipple with the rebound. Proctor back for Flagg, open again, and give him 3.
Don't give him 2 opportunities. Don't give him so good all year.
Flagg looking inside, puts it to the deck, keeps on driving. That left hand usually doesn't let him down, but and a big rebound by James. And of course, for the Cardinals, this is their 4th ACC road trip since January 1st, running up against Cooper Flagg.
Miss, and Cal's on the board. 3 minutes into the ball game. Malik Brown handling the rock for Flagg now. And here's Cooper on the drive, and it bounds away against Sissoko. Bears trying to get in transition by Sissoko a moment ago. 10 to shoot, though. Very quickly as James handles the possession. Flagg, fall away, left of the lane is good. First points of the night for the freshman from Newport. Going to be.
And well, then I know.
I'm making one exception.
Biased, by the way.
I'm allowed one exception.
Here's Flagg on the drive. He's got 6.
I've been to every lacrosse game for 40-something years.
Ask John Shire, is that the same Sissoko that we saw at Michigan State? Because he's playing completely different for Cal.
Yep. Long 3, good. That's Flagg.
He's going to make an open one.
You're going based upon his last name.
Yes.
Here's Flagg, a dunk.
There's the zone look, and they screen down on the big.
Here's Flagg.
This looks a little different defensively. Somewhat of a zone, but you got to find that guy at the top of the key. Cooper Flagg missing a good look.
Look at the home from the Golden Bears here.
Duke has been really good against the zone. They got a lot of weapons.
Flagg, the runner. Here comes Campbell from the beyond the midcourt front rim, and here's Flagg.
They just don't give you anything easy.
Cooper through traffic and one. But I think he sees the floor, Corey, at 94 feet. just about as well as anybody I've ever seen live.
He really does, and he celebrates his teammates' success. That's the best part about his game. The reason why he's in the top 10 in the ACC in assists as well.
Yep. Here's James. Out front, Flagg over the top of Petritis. And tapped home Malowacz.
And playing games and being away from home, I think it's just too hard.
And I think the ACC can help by eliminating at least one of those trips as we see Cooper Flagg go to the turnaround by during the somebody.
Yeah, they're trying to cut back on the ACC.
Here's steal by Flagg in the open floor.
Hey!
Oh!
That'll be on Sports National Championship game. Semifinals had 28. I mean, he was just a man back then.
If Cooper Flagg is able to lead this Duke team to a national championship, as if you're able to advance to the semifinals on Friday and possibly that Saturday championship game.
Yep. Here is Flagg in traffic. Fall away over Sissoko is short. Malowacz the rebound. Sissoko rejected that.
Way for the Tigers. It's Duke on top, 16-12. A packed house here. Now the seat to be had. Cooper Flagg spinning inside to his first basket.
Shows his versatility. It's the first keeps him in the game. And when the offense is clicking, it's lights out.
I think Duke is playing to be the #1 team in the country tonight as Flagg misses in close because Auburn has lost to Florida. Brown will swing it for James, who can hit that three-pointer. Flagg, a lot of contact to round it out. The tip won't drop by James.
That's unbelievable. Double Swedish should get that guy on the football field.
Flagg will pull up and pop. And continues to have a frustrating half. He's 1 for 4. Under a minute here at Clemson. Stolen away by Cooper Flagg. And Flagg ahead of the field slams it with 2 hands.
I got a feeling he's going to break out in the second half. They'll outscore Duke in the paint. Tonight, Clemson has done that.
Flagg on the attack right away, a misfire. And a whistle and a foul after a very quiet first half. They were quite physical with number 2. And still are. A bump there off the window, no. Malowacz with a little hook that won't drop. Big fight for the rebound.
You talk about Clemson.
Flagg thought about the triple.
Sheffield really played him tough.
He'll let it fly. No, he's not 2 for 8 shooting.
Well, he's 0 for 3 in the second. I think they really got to him how important he is to them. And he came here with a mindset, I'm going to do what I can.
Flagg with the left hand, nothing falling for the Duke star.
To be completely honest, being that Florida is ranked #6 in the country, I'm not sure that Auburn comes off the #1 spot. It could still be the Auburn Tigers, simply because
Point underdog Clemson. This is a good Clemson team.
Yes.
This is a good Clemson team.
Do a lot of things well. They've done a bunch of them today. Here's James with a shot. That 3 won't fall.
How much we learned from UB. He's a Jersey guy, the Jersey boys. Fratello, Adabado, UB Brown. You know, there it is. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
He won here. And it puts the Tigers back in the lead. Flagg, a lot of contact, and hooks it in.
how about the stars showing up?
The big stars showing up. Right now becomes Cooper Flagg time. Whether it's a pass or whether it's a jump shot.
Flagg gets it up there and hits it, a triple. Time.
Game last time out.
It's Cooper time. It's Cooper time.
Flagg, another hook off the window, no whistle. Malowacz keeps it alive. Proctor, an open look. Back for Flagg. Clemson by 2. 1 minute to go as Flagg launches and drains it.
Are you serious? Are you serious? How good?
Tigers on a 7-0 run the last 33 seconds. Flagg gets it on the inbounds. He'll heave it up there and short. Tapped around. That will do it.
3 for 5. Cooper Flagg has not gotten a shot off in this game as of yet. First one.
And he rattles it home. Right on cue. Really hard for the last couple of weeks. Felt like it was the right time to give him a shot. Here's Flagg against Majstorovic. Freshman over freshman. Rebound Starling.
Syracuse is showing.
Proctor from Flagg. Shot ready. Brown swats it out. Flagg is ready for three, and that's short. And Knipple thought he knocked it lower. Flagg.
That's where he's going to get his shot. He's going to get a shot on any pick and roll with Malawach because Lampkin is in.
Flagg will go to work on Davis. And the flip is good for Cooper Flagg, who then, I think, got knocked down hitting his Hofstra last year. 10 and 9 assists.
That's going to be a shot.
Flagg inside McCollum.
A high flying Flagg.
He's an I-8 for him.
Yeah, but you look at that stat line, KB, it's 11, 5, and 1, and you're like, oh, there's nothing impressive about that stat line. But if you watch the game, the passes, the shot.
Duke con imprecisiones en el ataque. No ha sido precisamente lo más fino para arrancar el juego. Cooper Flagg. El triple que llega finalmente desde un costado. Ian Jackson no puede encestar. Otro rebote de Flagg. Proctor pierde el bote. Flagg con el triple. Encesta Cooper Flagg. Y tiene que venir un... con tiro ganador, por cierto. Robo de balón. No ve la suya. La Universidad de North Carolina. Flagg. ¡Foul y cuenta! ¡Qué manera de volver de la pausa! Y es la Cooper Flagg, pero ya la pide abajo. Tiene toda la ventaja física. Cooper Flagg. Cargando. Ahí está el set de habilidades. El rebote de Malawach por si las cosas no funcionan de Davis. Flagg. Knipple. Flagg con el triple. Vaya Cooper Flagg. Flagg. El switch defensivo. El tiro de media distancia. Buen rebote de Gillis. Bien, acá últimos segundos. Acá está Cooper Flagg con el balón. 3, 2, 1. Fade away lo consigue para batir el reloj en la gran extensión de la palabra. Esto que hace Duke. Zion James para Cooper Flagg. El rebote.
Una ventaja y es una buena llamada de los oficiales. Ian Jackson va y se estrella con una pared.
Flagg. La primera tratando de hacer esto un poquito más decoroso. Flagg, buena finta. Ahora la tapa Cooper Flagg, la defensa de Withers. Aunque ahora son los Blue Devils los que se han topado con pared. Flagg con espacio. El triple. Cobrando una pequeña... Duke a través de Tyrese Proctor ya se asoma a la pantalla. Flagg, todo el espacio, le dieron el tiempo, falla. Tiene 4 triples encestados. Lo de Zion fue tan atropellado, ¿no? Inclusive desde sus tiempos como colegial, con toda la expectativa que hubo. Sufrió muchísimo Zion en ese sentido.
Real en su último partido. Fue tan intenso ese juego que Malawach terminó vomitando en el partido. Y así es para Duke, no hay de otra, no todos van a jugar con...
That's an area where Michael Connell can absolutely help this Wolfpack team. He can be more aggressive on the offensive end, showing his ability to shoot the basketball.
Flagg will lift. Can't connect on the first one. Malawach up and Proctor 11. Defense has certainly marked the success of Duke, though. They can take that everywhere, and an excellent passing team, too. That'll rattle home for Flagg as it drops in.
And sets, and making sure they don't take for granted this opportunity.
They look like they've been invited. They're having a great time. Cooper Flagg leans in for 2. And that was in transition, James. Malawach does not attempt a 3 there. Here's Flagg. Flagg does, but it's around and out. James has the rebound taken away. Going.
But Obi, look at the pressure, how the Wolfpack are forcing the Blue Devils to catch the basketball much further out of their comfort zone. Dante Styles doing the job defensively, and Cooper Flagg blocking the shot, but not finishing the defensive play.
Gets it back downstairs, and this time it's Middlebrooks to swat it away.
Yeah, Ben Middlebrooks, who leads the ACC that you see in the majority of the arenas. I believe that actually helps opposing teams coming in
Boy, Flagg got a great look, didn't he? Wide open, missed it. Perfect. Clemson 9-1.
A big battle tomorrow in Louisville. Wake Forest visiting. Big game for both those teams.
His teammates surrounded him, Cooper Flagg, and said, get yourself going, Cooper. Get yourself going. And they said, this is what you want, this kind of adversity.
Just like that. Well, and that's the way to respond.
The save goes back to Flagg. Flagg on the attack. Slams it down. A two-hand stuff. 7 o'clock Eastern. Then R.J. Davis in North Carolina. They're in Pittsburgh squaring off against the Panthers.
Huge game in Pittsburgh as Cooper Flagg gets to double figures, attacking the basket with the nice finger.
3 or 4.
Yes. Especially when you consider the inside-outside combination of DJ Horn and DJ Burns.
Just so much fun. Flagg got it up off the window. And Gillis. Here's Flagg. Turn around with that shot clock winding down, and it's a violation. And another been a non-factor offensively at times this year. Not tonight. Cooper Flagg looking to answer. Yes! And a foul as well. Shot clock at 15, plenty of time. Flagg again. On Hill, pulls up and pops. And knocks it down. Flagg commanding it. The scoop around and out. The tip won't drop.
And a strong effort defensively by
Flagg making a move to his left. Spins left. And it goes. It's one creative shot.
Vanderbilt only 5. Man, that's a big number, Ravi, to overcome. Vanderbilt currently being projected about a 10 seed in that NCAA tournament. Just tuning in, trying to figure.
Been against his highest ranked opponents. Shot clock down to 7. Knipple off the fake out airborne. Flagg open for a triple. Can't nail that. And Wake comes away with a rebound. Wake Forest delivering very quickly. And the legend will be back courtside soon enough. Here comes Flagg on the drive with the left hand.
It's so hard to defend because you have to take the shot.
Go for 2 shooting it in the early going. James off to Flagg. Yes, that's 2.
It's an interesting lineup that John Shire's got where
Flagg sliding in, banks it in, and he'll be headed to the line. Cooper Flagg looking for a 3-point.
Makes you great. We talk a lot about the things you see, but his feel and instincts in terms of manipulating the game.
Big 3-pointer won't drop. And Wake with it. Around, Duke comes away. Tyrese Proctor, 6'6" junior, off the Flagg with a jumper, well short. And Wake Forest will let that one roll out of Foster. 2 really good defensive teams toe-to-toe. Flagg wants it, leaning in, left it short. Boy, they really buckled down on him. Times they've played in this building. It's a 17-1 run. Flagg got it, and that'll quiet the crowd temporarily as he hits a 3. I had to slow us down. So a game like this, where it is right now, is how they want to play. Flagg, too strong. Salas out of the pack.
Playmaking type of play. That makes sense to somebody out there.
Johnson's 3rd foul. Flagg will fire this one and knock it down.
Tough spot. I mean, that's just an ISO spot on the floor.
We take the lead on this possession. Cooper Flagg spinning, going in strong off the window for 2.
And that's exactly what Steve Forbes was concerned with, them getting.
Trying to keep that run alive, too. So much on the line here today. Cooper Flagg penetrates and stuffs it with 2 hands. So now it's Duke. Knocked it back for Flagg. Shot clock down to 2. He fires in, can't hit it. Rebound tipped out high. It is off Wake. James, Flagg, and Malowacz, the starting lineup. here for John Shire tonight. Flagg with his first touch off the window for 2, and he's off to the races.
And when you consider McFarland being
BC sticking with Duke, going inside to the 6'9" Venning to grad from Brooklyn. Flagg will misfire it close. Malowich has it stripped, and Eagle opponents to 60. Knipple will drive, nearly gave that one away. Proctor will swing for Flagg and a triple. Not there for him.
And if you're hitting, and then Hastings comes in and has immediate impact.
The 2 bigs. The kick for Flagg. He'll take it hard to the paint. The reverse, and no. So did everything except hit the shots. The fouling. Well, he makes 56% of his shots. That's where he lives. Flagg on the attack. Off the window, no. BC wants to run. Kelly to push it. Flagg wants the ball, goes in strong for 2. No one was going to stop that one.
And again, when you put a bigger defender on him, and this is a young man that averaged over 20 points a game last year. So coming in, he hasn't really been able to get his scoring touch going. As Cooper Flagg has absolutely gotten it going now. Getting downhill, the spin, the production here over the last couple of possessions.
Meanwhile, Knipple, who's coming off 25, he was sensational the other night against Miami, has been a non-fact. Kick it. Here's Evans with another look. And a second effort. Gungba keeping it alive. Flagg slicing in for the slam. From St. Bonaventure. Cooper Flagg with a touch. Spins and gets 2.
That's too easy. Josh Beadle, if you're going to double team, you got to get there, get the basketball.
Duke can push you in so quickly in the opening seconds of the second half. Flagg again, not to be denied, off the window.
But so patient, he allowed everyone, and they're going to get, I believe we're going to have a...
Proctor thought about it.
Zone defensively from BC.
Flagg slams it in. Man, can he get up in a heartbeat. Evans again. Operating inside and Benny with the block. Flagg from 3. Yes. About a 3.5-hour drive from his home in Newport, Maine for friends and family. They'll drive it in tight and bank in 2 more.
And is able to, comes away with a little slight flex after absorbing the contact.
Total de 133 rebotes previo al arrancar el partido, 106 defensivos, 27 ofensivos y sacando siempre muy buen provecho de esa ganancia en rebotes defensivos.
Y aquí sacando provecho de un rebote. Aquí el que se lo pierde desde la esquina fue Brandon Johnson, jugador de 4º año y que jugador de transferencia, llegó procedente de East Carolina antes de aterrizar de forma de primera parte por ahora.
Sí, encontrando esos disparos de distancia ante la presión de la defensa de Duke, pero han encontrado bien en sus últimas 2 ofensivas, pero ahí viene inmediatamente la respuesta. Están cubriendo mucho Matthew Cleveland, pero Link Kidd y Jalen Blackmon están quedando descubiertos y son los que han aprovechado las últimas 2 ofensivas de Miami. Pero cuando no puedes frenar, tú anotas.
Con 6 equipos rankeados entre los primeros 25. En la gran temporada que ha tenido Hanna Hidalgo también en la conversación. Después del tiempo fuera. Miami regresando a los orígenes, tomándose muy poco tiempo en cada transición, en cada posesión de balón para buscar el aro rival a 2 tiempos. Venía Cooper Cobb, luego el manotazo. No hay infracción de por...
A lot of white shirts going after those rebounds. All 5 guys stand to rebound before they leave.
And Burton listed at 6 foot, might be closer to 5'10", dealing with a lot of size. Flagg for 3.
In gaps, they're showing bodies. So Notre Dame's seeing bodies instead of open court.
A good look in the corner for Flagg, and the 4th made 3 of the game.
Protects the rim. Sion James actually does a really good job of walling up and vertical contesting.
Boy, another great look. Flagg will miss this one. Look at the offensive rebound by Knipple. Boy, patient and unselfish.
What a pass.
Yes, this is terrific offense by the Blue Devils. And for 3 for Madalaco, the transfer from Princeton.
Last 5 games, Madalaco is 13 of 20 from three-point range, 65%.
Flagg misses a 3. Well, this day has not gone the way he has wanted it to go thus far. Flagg over Davis for the bucket.
All set up just to get him a little ice, trying to split defenders, and he's headed toward the baseline, toward the corner more than toward the basket. Can't foul there.
Flagg driving on Davis and scores over him.
He just has everything. In ACC play, you don't want to let him drive right, but that time he drove left and completed the play.
And now a good battle between Flagg and Davis. Good defense by Davis. It is loose, rejected by Malawach. Flagg for 3. His 4th of the game, and the lead is up to his team on that. They show them, hey, you're in these games. They've just got to do little things better here and there to turn the L's into W's. Flagg right down the lane for the slam.
Is off that broken play action.
Burton switches on to Flagg. Flagg gets into the paint and makes it look easy. He has now tied his season high. Crossover. Up over Jai to lay it in, and he's got.
And obviously in the WNBA for years, and with USA Basketball.
Yep. Flagg off the glass and good. Anything he wants right now.
Hello, sir. That's fantastic. Call me sir.
Flagg knocks down the 12-footer from the baseline. He's got 36.
Malawach comes out of there with it. Knipple wants to push the tempo. He's averaging about 12 a game. Flagg's first one of the night off target.
Who spent 7 years not only playing the 4 years for him, but spent 7 years beside him as an assistant coach.
Ball flipped to Duke. Here's Flagg. Good look and swishes in a triple.
He's been shooting the basketball.
Ken Pom has him as the #1 defense in the country. Mike Young, the Virginia Tech head coach, says the best defense he's seen in his 6 years in the league. That's how good Duke is playing right now on the dip. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Bounce speed. Flagg with a left hand. Yes.
You often hear the screener is the guy that's going
on their home floor. 12 baskets on 10 assists for Duke. Flagg gets a touch and knocks it down, and a quick start for him in the second 20. But he has 7.
When you can play free.
Pull up on drop by Lowe. Guards really have to get going if Pitt's going to have a shot. Flagg running the floor, can't convert. He goes down on all fours. An opportunity here for the Bears. They got it right the first time. And picked off. Flagg on the attack. Look at the slam! And a foul! Oh, my!
And Leggett able to get one to go on the last possession.
Flagg, can he top what he just did a moment ago? Into the line, slam! This time a two-hander!
It is to have Jalen Lowe on the floor for Pitt. He is the engine, especially on the offensive end for them.
Flagg leaning in. Follows his own miss, and down it goes.
But those are the characteristics. You're talking about the second jump, right?
Had 8 assists in their victory over SMU. They can dish it too. Flagg looking to work. Yes. Tough to stop that.
And just a slight flex. Even though Coops
hadn't put on a single pound since he walked out of Duke.
He looks like he can give you about 15 minutes to probably get you 10 to 12 points.
Here's Flagg, little fadeaway, and nothing but net. He has 4.
SMU that last time showing a little. What you've seen is that SMU has mixed up their coverages from man to zone. They're flaring out, being a little bit more physical, a little bit more help. That last time you see Cooper Flagg, that's one of the things we talked about him in the open. A three-level type of score. He allows the game to come to him. Rare are you going to see him force the issue and get out of the team concept.
Off the screen, Flagg may have been bumped, no call, and Proctor with a rebound. Here's James. And there's Flagg wide open. Man, is that a stroke.
And the thing is that James set that up. Obviously, the offensive from the floor, and they're not having Malawak on the floor gives you an opportunity to get to the cup.
Flagg had fake and rejected. That was Jarrell Colbert. And Duke with the basketball, closing in on 9 minutes to go. Beautiful cut to the basket, and Flagg follows, slamming it down.
And penetration by James. Cooper Flagg, you got to put a...
Flagg pulls up. And that was knocked out of bounds by the Mustang. Half, and Duke an 8-point lead. Flagg goes right by Yigatulu and missed the layup. Oh my goodness,
man,
are you kidding me?
Tough. And then he flexed on him a little bit.
And here's Flagg for three. Wow, what a game he's having, and he felt like he was fouled. And not much to cheer about so far. It's been the Cooper Flagg show. And he's looking for more, and that's blocked, and then he dribbled off his foot.
Good defense by Yigatulu.
He has really started to play like Bonzi. Bonzi's been taking a lot of pride in getting him together, as Davis Stoudemire's taking a lot of pride in Nate George becoming the point guard that he has.
Georgia Tech got the turn. So a cool start for the Duke Blue Devils. Way downtown, George with a miss. Duke owns the second highest net in 93 Virginia in the 1990 season. Nate George with a miss, and Cooper Flagg with a board. He wants to go. And a backcourt foul as two players go.
John Shire switching up his defenses to try to throw Georgia Tech off balance.
Outside, Mustaf got a really good look. Won't drop in for him. Cooper Flagg went down, grabbing at his left ankle area.
Cadeau and Davis for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, bigger and longer. Boy, good screen by Van Allen Lubin.
And Cadeau kind of turned it into more of a floater than a jump shot and left it a little bit short.
And so many of Duke's rebounders transition. That's where they're dangerous.
Powell for three. And Flagg down with the rebound for the Blue Devils. A pretty good look for Drake Powell, who shoots.
Jay Davis.
Ian Jackson looking to get going. Too strong on the three. Flagg down with the rebound.
And has scored over the last 6 games. It's been impressive. Almost 60% from the field overall, over 60% from three. 7 games prior, he shot around 20%.
Knipple switches on to Cadeau. Behind the back, the force, and it's off the side of the backboard.
That is not what Carolina wants.
It gets Duke out in transition, and Flagg flushes it.
With these switches.
No R.J. Davis, been on the bench about the last 2.5 minutes. Powell a step back three.
There's too many tough shots.
Flagg behind the back. Again, Duke statistically one of the best defensive teams in the nation this year. Flagg no. Flagg again. Carolina ball.
R.J. Davis has not scored in this game since the first couple minutes of the second half. Duke's switching and their size have been really difficult.
And the size a factor there, and then a run out.
And it was Cooper Flagg who came over for the deflection. Johnson from 14. Cooper Flagg with a rebound.
highlight in camera, but a missed opportunity for the Blue Devils.
Thought we were looking at a Cooper loop. Off the window, Hillwood can't finish it.
Trademark OB.
Here's Proctor on a run out. Proctor made that one. Shot clock down to 5. Down to 2. Malawach have to lift, and that one well short. Flagg picks it off to the other side of the iron for 2.
Of course, who else would make?
So now Wade needs an answer. Hildreth running into a wall, left it short. Flagg picking the rebound.
Yeah, the problem is Hildreth running into that. Oh!
John Shire early in the season. This is a very close-knit group among the parents that they root for each other's kids like he's never seen before.
And that's one of the things, OB and honestly running this team extremely well. And we've talked about the freshmen so much for the good reason as they continue to be excellent each and every time out.
It's in the rebound. Daquan Davis, the freshman from Baltimore, to Chandler Jackson with a floater. And Flagg, his first rebound of the night. James ahead from Malawach. Catch on Tuesday night in Miami. Oh, what a move by Watkins all the way to the basket. Malawach got a piece of it. Here's Flagg ahead for Knipple, spotting up. That got partially.
Flagg in the corner, stunning. Same with Sion James. Now you got to find the guy.
Jackson, the pull-up jumper. Tapped around. Bowen couldn't get it to fall. Here's Flagg. Ahead for James.
Not a thought of passing.
Nope. Jackson into traffic over Malawach. Flagg gathers. Down the floor goes Flagg. 10 minutes the other night against Carolina, and had he not gotten into foul trouble, he was going to play another season high here tonight. Gungba missed the front end of the 1-and-1. The rebound inside. Flagg will draw the foul. The layup, and the tap follow got knocked out. Gungba, Harris a 3. Missed badly, and Flagg recovers. Winds through a double team. Got it back.
Just missed the box out there. Bethea into the corner for Johnson. An air ball.
Do you understand that point?
I do understand that.
Like, when you're so good on the defensive end, you cover so much. Needed you, coach.
Oh, that would have been a great combination.
He never would have let me do it either.
Proctor, great bounce pass from Flagg.
Oh, God.
And Flagg follows after the rejection. Working on Malawach. Kid is in all kinds of trouble. Got it on the rim.
The other advantage that they have with Malawach is you don't really have to.
Airballs it. Grabbed by Jobay. And he will miss it. Rebound to Flagg. 27 the lead for Duke. Mason Gillis.
Big jump shot. First one off the mark. Yakuchonis with the rebound. They swing it. Humrickhouse. And the rebound to guess who? Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, too good looks that time, Bob.
Beat Knipple. Yeah. He's tough and he's a little crazy.
Listen, 2 Ks for a reason. That's his 2 Ks, baby.
Oh. Flagg snatching down that rebound with one hand. Yakuchonis, 8 to shoot. Will Riley's in the game now for Illinois. Another talented freshman. He beats it with an air ball. He's been struggling with his health. Gibbs Lawhorn, he's a scorer. High archer, no. Flagg, 2-hand rebound. He'll push it hard into the front court.
Defensive rebound.
Yakuchonis to the basket, the kick in the corner, rise and fire. Gibbs Lawhorn can't get it to go. Other way. Woo! Only 7 points on Monday in their win against Virginia, but he's really been scoring the basketball well. Not the same situation for Illinois from behind the 3-point line. Flagg the other way. He's a big boy. Here's Ibisevic slipping, jump hook inside. Over Malawach, can't get it to go. Flagg with a rebound.
And that's, I think, where some conditioning with Ibisevic.
Kofi up top here for Buchanan. On the baseline, they kick inside. They move the ball exceptionally well, but missed the shot in close. And Cooper Flagg comes away with the basketball. He's averaging 20 points, keeps on trucking to the paint. He gets denied. Cooper Flagg wants that lane. That won't roll in. Battling for his own miss and spins it up and in.
You know, everybody said Malik's got every ticket for the game.
Right. Which section does Malik have here at the arena tonight? Rhodey, a little bit too strong. So Duke on top, 50
is available.
Brody looking for a screen. Great pass, and Flagg with a deflection. Virginia wanted goaltending. Flagg with a terrific play. Gets rid of
his head. He's feeling great about his game right now.
Duke on a 7-0 run. Saunders trying to end that, but too strong inside. 5 times the entire day.
Virginia defensively will give you different pressure than you'll see with Stanford, as Robinson is unable to finish an opportunity right at the goal. But so that Roger could get back on the court during UVA games.
Brody jumping inside, swatted away. Tough D there by Evans. Duke with a couple of big blocks here in the first
half, I believe, this season. And still almost 4 minutes left. Duke is at 39.
Saunders, and a rebound by Flagg, who has 8 points. .320 to go. Saunders from the corner, left that well short.
Saunders a little winded right now. Remember, he's just coming back, getting back into
4 games. Duke's sitting there at 39.
And I have to go back and revisit. One team has scored 40 against Virginia in the first half. It was at Stanford earlier this year when Virginia made the win and didn't get the finish. And then Saunders doesn't get the finish. Those are 2 opportunities you had to cut into the lead.
Flagg going to, after his own miss, will turn and fire and swishes it in.
So John Shire when the NBA stopped.
Points in the paint. Duke huge domination there, 26-8. Virginia looking to quiet him down a bit. Flagg on the outlet. Here's James.
And I was there for game day as well, and I listened to, of course, my sisters Andrea Carter, Sinead Bumike, talk about has South Carolina taken the torch from UConn. And everyone kind of felt like they was in the building today, and the lineage is strong. His 2 sons, Cameron and Caden, will both be Blue Devils next season.
Not 1 but 2.
Yes.
A big man and a point guard. Not bad.
A spurt by Duke here, it could be blowout.
And it happens in every Duke game, right? There's going to be a point to where they get plays like that, going from Malawat with the block, turning into points on the other end with an advantage.
Are you serious?
And Rachel Baker have done assembling this team.
Oh, man, phenomenal job.
Did he get rolling? Nothing falling for him. And look at Flagg go up with a one-handed rebound.
Watch the pass.
Point line. Reno calling for the ball. Here's Blakes. Can he get started here? No. Been a long day for him. And his return to Cameron Indoor.
But Obi, look at the special attention being paid.
Reno near midcourt. Does he see it? He gives it up. Long one coming. Blakes can't bank it in. It just can't hit a shot. He is 0 for 6.
Not good. If we had a backup, he was coming in.
Ola Joseph short with the 3. Flagg the rebound. Brown was called for the foul, by the way. First.
Get in here, you have to make your free throws. You have to make a couple shots to be in the game. And missed another one.
Missed the front end of the 1-1, so 1 of 3 is Madi Sissoko at the line. Knipple. Andre trying to find a crease. Fall away is short off the front rim, and here's Flagg.
They just don't give you anything easy.
Coop.
And it's going to be a lot lower tonight.
Blacksher. And Flagg the rebound on the backside.
But what an advantage to have your 6'9" avoid the shot blocker, use that rim as a shield.
Malawat all ACC honorable mention, 7-2. Knipple with the drive with the left hand, and Duke is on the board.
Don Knipple, more than just a shooter.
Way downtown, George with a miss. Duke owns the 2nd highest net in Ken Palm history as Proctor will lay that.
Duke wants to make them a half-court team. Another turnover, just trying to make the home run pass.
Duke in transition. James up and good with the left hand, and the lead is up to 5.
There is no way after a turn effectively in the last month out of that short roll, going right into the chest of Cooper Flagg on the vertical contest.
Proctor at the other end.
And Proctor is such a good cutter.
Powell guarding Flagg on this trip. Off to James, muscles it up and in.
Boy, terrific pass off that little screen roll.
Brown, a good passer. He's got 3 assists in this game. He's going to take a 3 and hit it. Wow, after the back cut by 30% three-point shooter on the season, does not often look for that shot. Flagg swings it to Knipple. Cadeau went flying and is slow to get up.
Second half, Duke's switching and their size have been really difficult.
And the size a factor there, and then a run out and a chance for three for Tyrese Proctor.
It's loose again. Shot clock inside 10. Flagg on the spin, looking for room to operate. Got it downstairs. Great patience. James with the basket.
Yeah, I love the way Cooper's
into the Cooper loop. Off the window, Hillwood can't finish it.
Trademark OB.
Here's Proctor on a run out. Proctor made that one. Far tougher this time. That was
yeah, but in Evans' defense, Cooper Flagg also did that in the previous game. Talking about the Wake Forest defenders being too small to guard him.
James a triple.
Moms and dads who not only played the game but coached the game.
Yep.
But they understand how important it is to root for other players' success. Look at the parents. Every one of them is
right back out high for Flagg. On the drive, the spin, the feed. Here's James.
Cooper, for a good reason, as they continue to be excellent each and every time out.
Biggest lead of the night here for the Duke Blue Devils. They will add to that. Mason Gillis coming off. See how long Cooper Flagg remains in the game. And Knipple, too, is up to 17 points. Underneath for an easy basket from Malawak.
Well, John Shire is going to make sure that the Crazies get an opportunity
Afraid to play, but you notice when they're getting their offense. It's playing quick, maybe not even a pass. They're being aggressive early. Heads up.
Flagg the lob, and Malawak answers. He's got 4. Is into the lineup now, and so is Patrick Gungba, by the way, for Duke, along with Caleb Foster. And Knipple for 3, and he got it out of the corner. Half dozen. Flagg gathers. Down the floor goes Flagg. Lob. Coming the hammer.
Handling it against pressure.
A trip to Virginia on Tuesday, and then SMU next Saturday to close the regular season. Flagg for Evans, 3-ball.
The easiest shot, Isaiah Evans.
15-1 in the league. Their lone loss a couple of weeks ago at Clemson. Their other losses this year, Kansas and Kentucky. Knipple opens the game with a 3. The dime for Cooper. Listening, you think he's paying attention to anything you're saying?
I'm a loud talker, man.
We could ask him right now. Proctor driving, and Proctor's layup is good. First bucket for the junior from Sydney, Australia.
That's it.
I mean, technically it's turnover, but I get what you're saying.
Whatever.
Evans, Evans drills it. His 4-3 in the first half.
See,
attention that defenses have to pay him.
Yes. Look, it almost makes it to the point where you can play 404. Oh boy.
Gosh, they are giving this guy any daylight in that tournament. NCAA tournament, end of the year.
It is wild.
Here's Foster. And if Tyrese Proctor's going to be out, and he's out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and just think about passing around that.
I want to see some diamond and one in the last 7 minutes. Malawak flushes. Flagg with a fist pump, his 6th assist.
And his team. Flagg averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 dimes per game. Now James, pull-up jumper, and he knocks down his first shot. Sion James. Proctor, pick and roll with Flagg. He slips, power dribble, skip pass, rising fire. Sion James. Yakuchonis unable to finish. Flagg the other way, striding. Knipple driving, reverse layup, got it. Guts. Real. Kept Edicic off the boards. Flagg to a cutting Proctor, skipping to the bucket, off the glass and in.
Reading the defense, Proctor that time was
Marshallonis.
6'6", big, strong.
Oh, just like that. Big, strong. Both of them.
James to the corner. Knipple will fire it up and comes swishing in.
And it's almost a perfect. Yes.
A big man and a point guard. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Flagg dumping it downstairs and a slam by Gungba.
Patrick Gungba from the state of Virginia. Patrick Gungba gives Duke a lot of punch on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, Duke punching back after that flurry. Great ball movement, and count that one. That will be
talented you are. Yes, certainly Flagg 1. Yes, Knipple 6, and there's right there the dunking machine.
Malawacz with the slam.
7. That's 3 coaches with.
Now you've been with us for 45 years and changed the college basketball game, all because Red Auerbach got the best of you in the trade.
It's wide open on the feet from Flagg. Red would have liked that for him and his return to Cameron Indoor.
But Obi, look at the special attention being paid to Blake. If there's anyone, and again, these guys love him. Tyrese Proctor loves Jalen Blakes. Right?
Agarwal with the basket. Best looking basket today so far for Stanford. Flagg. Malawacz again.
They can do no wrong. They can do no wrong.
Can't hit a shot. He is 0 for 7. Brown will let it fly and hit the 3. Malik Brown is 6'9".
Pride. They sell what that jersey brings out. It brings commitment from everybody against them.
Flagg again from Malawacz. And another scoop and another fantastic.
Going and find his way truly to being part of this run for the Blue Devils. They're going to need him as this season goes along.
Malawacz. Second 3 of the year.
The Duke Blue Devils a year ago, and now
Jalen Blakes,
Stanford Cardinal, Jalen Blakes, who has the highest increase in points per game nationally.
He's had a good year.
Flagg against Petritis. Tough matchup for Reedus.
Cannot help.
Proctor 3 from the front, coach.
Yeah, cannot help off him.
His Proctor's had a big half with 11. Flagg rolling, draws the double. Knipples the open shooter and knocks it down to 3.
He is so good offensively. I'll tell you one thing.
Flagg, such a tremendous distributor. Knipple, well balanced in the lane.
Just using that 200 MES.
1,001 career points for Lampkin. Congratulations to him.
Malawacz. Thunderous finish.
If you're Cooper Flagg, that's going to be your bread and butter. Sports Center top 10 dunk. What a play.
I know we talk about Cooper Flagg a lot, and maybe if you don't like Duke, it's Proctor, it's a theory, you're sick of it. Here's the thing,
El balón en manos de Knipple. El pase. Así, facilito. El primer en Ian Jackson para Cado, otro pase picado, el robo de Cooper Flagg. Atento, y la zancada tremenda, el pase picado, aro pasado, ¡qué canasta! La transición es tremenda, el enceste de...
Todavía no puede hacer colapsar ese defensa de Duke.
Otra vez le mandan el doble equipo a Flagg, pero detecta bien que en la otra esquina está Tyrese Proctor. Y llega para meter el triple.
Cuenta rápido que viene ese doble equipo, para entonces poner a rotar a la defensiva con los pases.
Segundo robo para Cooper Flagg, la asistencia otra vez. El balón perdido, lo retoma Duke, Cooper Flagg. El pase para Malawacz que gira, buen pivoteo, el trabajo es impecable y el ganchito de zurda todavía mejor. Los Blue Devils. El balón llega ya a Cooper Flagg, detecta al hombre que está solo, es con Knipple, la volcada de Knipple. Sin tener tanto power, pero aún así. En North Carolina, la referencia a Vanderbilt obviamente. Gran jugador, el pase cruzado con gran fuerza y determinación como debe hacerse. Si se toma ese.
Duke with their backs up against it here in the first half, trailing 35-24. Flagg, nice dish downstairs for the stuff. Malawacz wide open. Nice find from Cooper Flagg. Has defeated Duke 2 of the last 3 times they have played, including the ACC tournament, the NCAA tournament last spring. The roll for James, he'll slam it down.
Great execution out of the timeout for the Blue Art. NC State came in with maybe one of their better performances of the season on the road tonight.
Flagg drives it, shot clock winding down, got the pass off. Big day of college basketball on ESPN. Flagg looking to go around the back. Got free. James will fire it up and swish it in from three-point land.
I have no idea. Well, there's some Four Sports guys. They're just not that good.
Not very good in any of them, really. Yeah. Shot clock down to 10. Knippel's open from the corner and got a great look for the three.
Yeah, that had his zone. I mean, you can see it just run 15, 20 seconds of trying to figure out what we're doing offense.
Flagg with a turnaround. Oh, what a great pass underneath for Gungba.
Maybe just get Flagg the ball.
Flagg downstairs, back out, Knippel. Yes, nothing but net.
Yeah, that was just great execution. Set a little baseline.
Flagg gives up the dribble. Knippel stepping in the lane, banks in two. And Shire wants a timeout. In for Proctor. Flagg gets it across. Gillis from the corner. Got it! He swishes it in. The three-pointer on the money. Proctor finds him. Flagg. Kind of a choppy dribble. Great dish underneath for Malawach and the dunk.
But Cooper Flagg's grabbing his neck. Had a collision.
You and I both, next time we're in Columbia. Richly deserved. She's done a magnificent job.
Absolutely on her, we go to Columbia.
Nice touch there for three-point.
And Slim having some fun with the fans. Does the offensive end of the floor defensively, making big plays as well.
Evans with a long one. Yes, what a great touch.
But Coop knows what's going to happen. It's for him, but has battled through foul trouble in this game.
Back to Evans, wants to launch again. He's hot. And loves to put.
Posesión de balones. Del lado de Miami, mucha atención sobre Matthew Cleveland, el número 0, jugador de cuarto año, que ya lo vimos con una asistencia desde la esquina. El primero de la noche para 170 victorias al frente de este programa para la Rañaga, pero a sus 75 años dijo ya no más. Cansado después de una temporada llena de lesiones, la temporada anterior. Número de 7 para la escuadra de Duke en ese departamento. Y otra vez la transición rápida no le funciona a Miami. Cooper Flagg con el pase rápido. Va por 3 y anótale 5 de 8. Que sigue todo lo que lidera con este programa. Este talentosísimo de 18 años.
Sí, sobre todo, como dices, inteligente, maduro para la edad, muy maduro.
6 intentos para los Huracanes esta noche.
Tú hablabas sobre esa estadística del porcentaje que ponía favorito al equipo de Duke. Bueno, en 10,000 ocasiones, ahorita Duke está preocupado con Matthew Cleveland, pero deben de aprovechar a Lincoln para lograr, y a Jalen Blackmon, que también lo vimos al inicio del partido, trabajando bien. Pero qué disparo.
Flagg and Malawach, 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. As Knippel finds Flagg, he finds Malawach, and the 3 freshmen connect on the first bucket of the game. So difficult. 5 wingspan, 9'8" standing reach. Knippel back to Flagg, who's been shooting the 3 better of late. Proctor's been shooting it well all season long, and it's 5-0 Duke.
Player you cannot close out to. You've got to be close enough to him where a closeout is not necessary.
The coach's son averaging almost 16 a game. The lay-in at the rim by Kamada Malawach. They're the head coach of the Irish in his 2nd year in South Bend, and has had a really interesting coaching journey. Was at Butler under Brad Stevens, was at Purdue under Matt Painter. As Knippel, MegaCast coverage begins at 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes, as it is tipped in by Malawach. And I know I speak for you and everybody. All pressure out near midcourt by Shrewsbury. Knippel handling for the Blue Devils.
Almost like a zone look underneath.
And Flagg with his 6th assist of the game as he finds Malawach. Flagg having an enormous afternoon. Malawach having a pretty good day himself.
A really good pass by Cooper Flagg. Notre Dame.
For him to be aggressive to have success here on the road.
You're right. If it's going to happen for Pitt, they're going to come back. Their guards are going to lead a Knippel down the lane. Nice adjustment to lay it in.
Great job by Knippel. And now with Zach Austin going down, we'll get much more of an opportunity.
Flagg on a double. Nice pass. And that'll be finished by James. But a terrific pass by Flagg.
too. To get it to go, and of course for the Panthers, they're going to have to start knocking down some of those looks if they're going to try to get back into this.
James from the corner and sinks it from three-point land.
They have been able to be successful all season long. Duke has done a great job of keeping them out of the painted area and not allowing them to be successful.
Drive and up and in as Proctor sweeps in.
And Cooper took over here in the second half.
Going around the back, draws three. Here's Proctor open. He knocks in a three-pointer.
Now Proctor got hit. It's going to be interesting to see. They're going to
37-30, 1:30 to go. Flagg the alley-oop and a beautiful pass, catch and lay in.
And one of the things we don't talk enough about is the playmaking.
And put in James for Foster. Here's Flagg back in the game. Proctor. Oh, man.
That's tough. Break the paint by Cooper Flagg.
What a player he was at Maryland for Lefty Drizel. There's a turnover for SMU. Flagg to Gillis.
Oh my. What a finish. Flagg over.
Rebels. Gungba out front against Wessler. Here's Flagg on the catch. Knipple straight away. First points for the Milwaukee. Knipple back for Evans. Strong with the three. Brown kept it alive. Flagg in the corner. Evans tees up another one. Sure.
They want to do, then that helps you. But Virginia Tech just can't get inside.
How about the steal? Malawach to Flagg to James for the dunk. Flagg against Burnham. Evans out of the corner.
That's why he's in the game.
And we're happy to oblige as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very few things is important about choosing your name.
That is common.
Hardest to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Panthers and Blue Devils. Here's Flagg after the turnover. He'll leave it. Proctor will finish.
Defender, and that was a big-time move for a freshman.
Freshman out of the overtime elite program, which is just a couple of minutes from here. Knipple hits his second three.
And a good score.
Waiting for it. Ibrahima Suare, the redshirt freshman, ends a 6-minute scoring drought and a 14-0 run. And then Knipple answers with three more.
Defended by Woody Newton. Flagg another offensive rebound. James a deep three. Got it. Transfer with the basketball. Flagg extra pass. Proctor puts in a three. Timeout. One of three Duke freshmen projected to go in the top 10 in this year's NBA draft as Brown finishes that beautiful play with a dunk. Evans left open. Cashes in from downtown.
That's what he is. Here is you want to try to shorten the possession, shorten the game, shrink the court as much as you can.
Malawach the lob and the finish. Duke's on the board. From trouble outside to Proctor. Gets outside to Flagg. He'll get it back. Proctor left wide open. Times it could be when they need it to be. That makes sense.
I don't think there's any question.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen in the games where late game situation, Shire's calling his number. And Sion James. There's a.
We're good. Oh, he will certainly not be without competition as this season moves along. As Flagg gives it up to Gillis. That's a three for the Purdue transfer, playing in his 140.
Almost banked it in. It's Duke ball. Flagg. Proctor. Good fake. The three. Yes.
And the Blue Devils football team, Wake Forest 4-7. Duke could get to 9-3 with a victory tomorrow. Proctor for three.
Brown from Proctor. Brown kicks it. Evans missed it. Flagg saved it. Deep one from Proctor is good. Unlimited. Christopoulos did not score in that first half. Foster gets a piece of that one. Ends up in the hands of Flagg, and Foster the recipient. Malawatch with a quiet night so far, 4 and 3 in 11 minutes. Flagg will get it to him. That's not quiet. That's different. And that's that high. Malawatch, good distribution, but Goma couldn't finish. And here's Flagg again. Great find in transition and a Proctor 3. From Dan Bonner.
Dan Bonner killed me during the broadcast.
There's your 17th career start. Evans, a rim rocker. Midway through the second half, Duke has allowed 4 points in the half, all on free throws, and count that bucket for Kaman Malawatch.
On the shot clock as they move it around. They space the floor, 5 out. They really don't throw it into the post very often. They double Flagg, leaves a wide open shot from the 3, and it goes. Tyrese Proctor push off. A 7-0 run trying to cut it even further. Brown, yes they do. A 2-point game after a Brown.
Oh, it's 4. It's 5. It's 5. This is 5. Yep.
Get in the paint. Nice play. Yeah. And the big-time score comes from a family of score.
Good show there by Krivas. Now Flagg, still plenty of time.
And an excellent job by Jaden Bradley on the tag.
Proctor now shooting better than 50. John Shire's gone to his bench. Malik Brown, Sion James both into the game. Flagg with a steal. Shovel past Proctor. His second 3 of the night.
What a big-time play by Cooper Flagg. Excellent job turning the corner to get into the lane.
Good ball movement here by the Blue Devils, and Malawatch with a chance for a 3-point play.
Del Orso just late.
Knipple drives past Love and lays it in.
Boy, Krivas very fortunate he didn't pick up.
Malawatch is okay there. They're looking at something with his shoe or foot. But I actually like this smaller lineup. I really think this was the group that moved the basketball really well. They played with one another well.
And we got lucky to see a lot of Sion James as Flagg missed a 3 the last 4 years at Tulane. If you watch Sion James, if you talk to Ron Hunter, the Tulane coach, as Foster hits the 3, you know Sion
have to be able to put a value on that when everything outside is telling you, go make money.
Flagg. Delicious dish to Gungba, his first Duke bucket. Freshman to... But again, with very little basketball experience.
He doesn't try to overdo it. I mean, simplify the game, and it comes easy.
Flagg to Foster for 3. 4th assist for Cooper Flagg.
Don't get blocked, don't get blocked. Like, Malawatch has that impact, and again, like I said, Mark Williams did a few years back.
Knipple 3, set up once again by Cooper Flagg. 71-24, in case you didn't look at the TV wondering why these guys talking about onions. Here's Foster. Another 3 for Caleb Foster, and that Flagg to Foster.
Su capacidad de defender en este momento de su carrera, Miguel, las 5 posiciones. Es alguien que te puede defender en el perímetro y el hombre más alto del equipo rival.
Empujón claro que no pitan los árbitros, cara. Robinson aguanta el embate de Flagg, que levanta la cara, empieza la transición. Sion James ataca la canasta y con mano derecha deposita el balón de manera sutil.
Offensive rebound, but they only have 7 second chance points, so Duke really hasn't made them pay yet.
James off the feed from Flagg. We've seen it time and time.
Throws it down like a glove.
And now that you mention it, that seems to me, as Sion James buries Rucker, the senior out of the Gilman School in Baltimore, who was first team All-Patriot League 2 years ago, and is among the top 20 all-time leading scorers in Army basketball history. Tyree. Flagg puts it on the deck. Malawatch. He's got a lot of skills for a man who has not been playing basketball.
Keelan Steele starting this game, a guy who's really battled injuries, has redshirted the last 2 years.
Once again, Flagg to Malawach. Rimmed out. The fact that Christopher Mantis got another open three will not please the Duke coaching staff. That was a big part of the scout earlier today. Nipple. Foster drives, gets the defender in the air and lays it through. Once again, number 2 with the basketball. James off the feed. It's another assist from Cooper Flagg. Second half. Flagg works to the baseline, finds Knipple in the opposite corner for 3.
It's a great pass from Flagg.
To try to throw Georgia Tech off balance. Outside, Mustaf got a really good look. Won't drop in for him. Cooper Flagg went down, grabbing at his left ankle area as he went down.
Boy, good help by Malik Brown there to stop that initial drive. A foul on Cooper Flagg, and that'll be number 2 on him. That's because important last 3.5 minutes for North Carolina. Can they cut into this lead, or can Duke extend it?
Flagg the drive, and an offensive foul. It is number.
Yeah, too much dribbling, not enough passing.
Jackson to Lubin, and the tough finish to snap that 12-0 run.
Duke wasn't able to get pressure on Ian Jackson. Then the steal now from R.J. Davis.
Clemson. And so whenever you find that recipe to be able to beat the Blue Devils, the kick ahead, and Flagg unable to handle that one, but whenever you find a recipe that could cost you a win, as we see
Ivisic, Conrad, Montana. And a whistle foul, offensive foul the other way. Looks like that's on Flagg.
Yeah, got to push it off that time.
Kind of reminds me of Jerome Shepard, who played at Connecticut. The Iceman. Knocked away, Yakuchonis tracks it down, Flagg is back, Yakuchonis.
Veteran guys, they're going to be difficult in the tournament season.
Yep. Wait a minute, you talking about being difficult. You guys got him a loss. You went down there and got Brad Brownell and Clemson a loss. He told me he didn't want to see you guys anymore.
He loves me.
Very quickly. Proctor digging in on Blackshear.
Ooh, nice steal, nice play.
And Wilkinson comes away with the turnover and the basket. So the freshman from Powder Springs.
Recruit the kids from Notre Dame for 3 years.
Locken with 8. Flagg. And a whistle and a travel. So Duke turns it over.
Here, Knipple, great job by Carlos fighting over the top of that screen. And now Carlos going to have to fight against Flagg, and Carlos strips it away. The undersized point guard kicks it to Starling.
O se mostraron en su punto más alto en los 90. Casi de todos ellos. Buena defensa de North Carolina, encontrando en la defensa de toda la Knipple. Flagg, sin voltear a ver a su compañero, se le movió por un instante. Flagg, en todo un partido, disfrutar del desempeño que tiene. Aquí la ley del comentarista, no hablas bien de un jugador y te queda mal.
Coming off a hard-fought victory in Winston-Salem on Saturday against Wake Forest. Poked away. And the steal by NC State. That'll be flipped up off the backboard. No good bites. Make it 0 for 9. Proctor up over for Flagg. And no. Almost had a Cooper loop there.
I like that. A Cooper loop.
Vanderbilt currently being projected about a 10 seed in that NCAA tournament. Just tuning in, trying to figure
out a rough one against Boston College, in which he did not score. Cooper Flagg will lose that one, going down into the other regions under the basket.
Yeah, look, they're really letting it go.
Talking about the scouting report on them this week, he agrees.
Sometimes it's out of necessity. When you're not able to score the ball the way you wanted to, when you're not able to play with the pace that you wanted to play, you've got to be a good defensive team if you want to compete at a high level.
One fall for Wake Forest, and that means for the entire season.
was also heavily contested by Cooper Flagg, who got out there. They're going to call offensive.
On Cooper Flagg.
And now he's got a smile on his face.
And Wake has their biggest lead today against Duke. Out it goes as they throw it away. Flagg has had problems time. Lost his footing. Will he lose the ball? It spins free, and that's what happens.
Be Duke, you know, not only one of the better offensive teams in the country, but absolutely at the top of the charts when you talk defensively, what they've been able to do.
That'll be a charge on Flagg, an offensive foul. 28 for 61 from 3. Brown on the drive, swatted away by Flagg again. Couple of blocks for him. And a whistle.
Diferentes ediciones de básquetbol por ESPN. Repasamos una vez más la quinteta inicial para Duke con Tyrese Proctor, con Con Newpel, con Zion James, Cooper Flagg y Kamal Maluag. Este uno es el que no ha abandonado la duela es Mason Gibbs, anotador de par de triples de momento. ¡Epa! Bueno, no pudo retener la posesión de balón de Cooper Flagg. Sacaron el balón en el ido Miami esta noche. En este duelo que ha sido una pesadilla total para los Huracanes. La pinta de Cooper Flagg, el pase, decíamos, tiene ojos detrás de la cabeza, pero no pudo encontrar a mano a mano. Y esa es la historia. Esta es una defensa que cuando se trata de defender en zona, no otorgan segundas oportunidades, y eso es parte de la historia. Aquí le sacan el balón justamente a Cooper Flagg. Tener esta brillante defensa.
Sí, hay muy buen trabajo de Brandon Johnson, que también le está aplicando otra dinámica en este momento al equipo de Miami, pero pues no hay nada que hacer. Imagínense del coach.
Here in the ACC a season ago. Got a switch, Alaco on Maluach. Flagg up top. And off the fingertips of Maluach, and back comes Notre Dame. Didn't execute it. Average about 50 points per game between them. One of the issues for the Irish is who will step forward beyond those three. And Alaco, who just took a charge, is having a very nice year. And now a technical
after their game against Auburn. But they're not going to face the same kind of resistance as they would see in the ACC or in a normal year that you would have in the Atlantic Coast Conference. This is not a normal ACC. It's just
wins available for you in the ACC this season. Take advantage of them when you can.
Good defense there by Corn, popping in. Nudge that free. Austin going airborne. He's traveling with it. Flagg again. Lost it. On the run coming. Going in strong where Evans laid it.
And unable to get it going, and Duke has been able to stretch this lead out.
Ball is rolling. And Flagg just lost the handle on that one. Low off to the races. Goes to the left hand.
He still is not the guy that they're expecting. He knows that a matter of time he's going to do. You got a guy like Proctor. You see another turnover opportunity for Miller to be able to finish. And this is what SMU needs. You got to be able to get some easy buckets.
To cheer about so far, it's been the Cooper Flagg show. And he's looking for more, and that's blocked, and then he dribbled off his foot.
Good defense by Yigatulu that last time. Being able to stay in front of Flagg.
Blue Devils have the original starters out there for Coach Shock. Flagg might have been deflected on the way to Cooper. Here's Brown, and look at wow, flat.
Proctor. The option is Flagg. Hit a 3 on the last possession. Drives it into traffic here and turns it over. Flagg playing with 2. Posting Powell. Powell knocks it away. McCollum for Georgia Tech the other way.
Oh,
Reps it inside.
well, he hit that one in the first half when they needed it. Now they really need it.
Flagg driving, and it's going to be a blocking foul.
They have won 5 in a row, coming off a win against Tulane in which O'Connor had 17. And it'll go back to George Mason.
And Matt, I think
it's half court. Less than 10 to shoot.
Flagg. Jarred loose. Johnson wins it back. Maddox. Helter.
Started out saying how important free throws were to George Mason, and they've only attempted 3 in this game.
Picked off by O'Connor. Tippy towing the sideline. Thunder it.
Gets a look from 3 here and missed it. Tracked down though for an offensive rebound by James. And then Flagg airmails it into the breadbasket of a young Cameron Crazy. Another Cooper Flagg turnover.
Freshman class, and Moncrief had a great freshman year.
Flagg traveled with it.
It was interesting talking to Chris Victor today about
Dawson with a fine. Goma missed at the rim. Kicks out to Cooper Flagg. 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and there is a charge.
The rarely seen native comes back home, and he buries his first 3.
And Ravi, he's not had a breakout game just yet.
Flagg lost the ball. He dribbled into traffic. The run out, 2-on-1. Bounce back, contested. Here's Flagg. Look at the double by Dickinson. That is deflected. Looked like it went off Flagg, and it did. Second turnover for Cooper Flagg.
That's great defense. Look at the help side. All the blue jerseys.
He is smothered over there. Dickinson rips it away. It'll be Kansas basketball. Back-to-back trips. A.J. Adams. 8-point game. Duke's got to get back into it. They go to Flagg, who's in the paint. Double teamed. He lost it. It's been their formula all night. And a run out for Kansas. Mayo tie. Big-time height advantage. Flagg, he had it, and he lost it. Shades of Arizona game right there.
He spins
Kentucky
too much.
game. He spins. And
with the departure of some really good players. Kylan Boswell's in Illinois. Pella Larson is in the NBA. And Bradley has stepped into a leading role right now for the Wildcats. And they've got a chance for that. You talk about a guy who does all the blue-collar things. That is Malik Brown on the ACC All-Defensive team last year with Syracuse as Flagg turns it over.
Roll to the basket, lob it right up to him. Maybe the easiest inside basket Arizona's had.
They're trying to get the crowd back into it, and this will help. Bradley with a steal.
Glass are plus 10 in rebounds in this ball game.
Arizona ball ahead to Lewis.
Start for the Terriers. Deep in the clock. Here's Flagg with an intercept. Caleb Foster bobbles it right into the hands of Dylan Bailey, and Duke turns it back over.
Yeah, that's on Flagg. A lot more of the open threes that they've gotten, and I think if they get them in the second half, you're going to see more fall.
There's Flagg. He turns it over for the second time, and then Flagg with a whole bunch of fouls points, and they're up by 49. And Flagg pokes that ball away, and he knows he's not going to track it down. If you are turning into a Duke game.
En el partido estelar de el Champions Classic, le zafan el balón a Flagg, pero mantiene la posición. Malik Brown amaga con una pantalla. 3 pasan enfrente de él. Distractores solamente. Flagg pierde el bote. Se la han robado. Kentucky tiene el balón. Arriba. Fall. El balón directo para Cooper Flagg. 10 segundos en el reloj. Flagg otra vez pierde el bote y ahora pisa fuera Cooper Flagg. Increíble.
Really hard. So to be, to have continuity and experience, especially in the era of the transfer portal, that's what Kevin Kuick is trying to establish with his basketball program.
Run come March and April. Another offensive rebound. This time Malawach pulls it out. Whistling a foul on the floor after the near steal by Josh. Sky blue lettering and white trim. Ball slapped away from Clayton. Flagg then lost it. Back to Clayton. The ball, Gillis back in along with Malik Brown. Here's Flagg, spins around the defender, and an offensive foul. He hooked the defender with that elbow. That's personal.
Possession here for Carolina. The crossover by Davis. Cadeau, what a pass, what a block. Flagg got it. Lubin couldn't finish.
Away from Wake Forest.
Well, we knew Duke would make the run. We talked about it when the score was 2-2, but Wake Forest has to find a way to settle themselves offensively.
Easier play. Bo Bowen working against Foster. Tried to wrap it through traffic. Here it.
Riley the other way. Inside, Yakuchonis, reverse layup, good.
That time, the fight is different when Malik is available.
Brody looking for a screen. Great pass, and Flagg with a deflection. Virginia wanted
offhand and guiding it right into the rim.
With all those games, I think I've seen him take maybe one ill-advised shot, as that'll be backed in for two by Robinson.
I thought he was under the weather, especially in the first half. He looked it big time
against Clemson. Yeah, John Shar said you were right. He was under the weather. He started to cramp up a little.
Can JB adjust? I think he can potentially, but their continuity system and how that offense runs around Steph Curry, I know you think it.
Lubin había cortado la canasta, no le mandaron el balón. Ahora RJ Davis. Ian Jackson para Cado, otro pase picado, el robo.
See if Salas gets another touch here. He's asking for the ball. Hildreth with a bounce feed in, the slam by Spillers.
Put it up. He probably should have. Davis, Alako, Burton. And they don't get a shot off.
Yeah. So here's Hammond off the ball screen of Poteet. Inside feeds Lawal for the dunk. So Toby Lawal
pass that ball.
Yeah. Hammond, Poteet again. Nice look. There's Johnson. Flagg got there defense.
Flagg has 5 assists. He's got 2 steals. He's got a block shot.
Yep. In traffic, knocked away. And
in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. Win or lose those tough games.
Exactly. Watch the lob here.
There it is. It was executed beautifully. The score came down with it.
3-0 went over Division II Erskine and then losses to Lipscomb and Presbyterian on the road. So a slow start for the Terriers. Deep in the clock, here's Flagg with an interception.
Ortega Owe que se mueve abajo de la canasta, la tapa de Flagg, demostrando que también tiene defensa. Llegar a 50 a la Universidad de Duke.
Es lo que te digo, Miguel, todos los tiros los toma en balance, canijo.
Retado en todo lo... Andrew Carr, buena finta. El atrevimiento que le sobró a Chris. Aquí le faltó a Andrew Carr. Buena defensa de Flagg. No hay...
Rucker got himself in a tough spot, turns it over. Here comes Flagg. Clayton just caught the front iron. Fight for the basketball comes to Maine. Tell you what, the Black Bears have come to play the lay-in by Keon Burns.
Well, they got what Clark Kello always talks about, spurtability. And I'll tell you one thing, they're going to spurt you. They put you away. You got to hang. You can't let them get that big kid from the Badger State, Wisconsin, played Wisconsin Lutheran High School in an undefeated season. Got younger brother.
To go before the break.
Got a mismatch inside. You got to get the ball to Shefflin. Got to get the ball to Shefflin.
Center short. Reeves gathers the rebound. He's a big
evening. Starling guarded by the much taller freshman Flagg. Starling rejected by Flagg on a 3-point try.
By the way, I'm waiting for...
Otro robo de...
Hey, not only are they leading, but they're getting the basketball and the shots that they want to get.
And with another long one. Too strong this time. Well, Earl Grant has...
Basketball underneath your basket.
Brown with the scoop. Yes.
This is an encouraging sign for Deion Brown.
Is greatly appreciated. Alako inbounds to Burton. Flagg defending him, and Burton a little too quick. But
dare I ask who you're... Well, I can't say that too loudly here in Texas. Will fade away by Cross. And Ugachulo will go to the line.
As you're still in the game. You've given up all those second chance points. You've given up those points off turnovers, but you are still in this game.
Lawal can't finish.
And he just hadn't had it.
Send us to the last break.
Georgia Tech has not had easy shots. Here's a drive, and a miss from Lance Terry, their leading scorer, who still has not.
Doesn't matter who the opponent is.
Arches lead at 12. 33-21, stop and pop. And graze the rim. Anderson no good.
Well contested. And Duke scoring drought now nearing 3 minutes.
A contested rebound.
Hadley coughs it up. Flagg.
No. And it's not just that they won games, it's how they did it. Like for decades under Coach Ken. I mean, they were
Malowacz, best freshman class of the country. Those three are the headliners. We'll see if Duke goes a little deeper. Oh, a step attempt missed by M.A. Mugg.
Still scoreless in this game, 0 for 3.
Love has to get something going toward the basket.
Townsend got something going towards the basket, couldn't finish, and it's Duke.
Back to 1940. Maine with the basketball first in their Navy uniform with the sky blue lettering and white trim. Ball slapped.
Basketball above his shoulders, because once he does, there's a great chance it's going to go down.
Now Duke has now made at least 1 3 in 1,251 consecutive games. But Virginia.
This stellar play here for Duke.
Bears with the ball to start second half. Here's Stojakovic to work off the baseline. Knipple the rebound.
In the first part of the season for the Blue Devils, but then once he turned 18, has been able to turn it up.
Detritus a miss on the 3. Proctor the rebound.
Absolutely has to travel. Well, Tyrese Proctor knocking down the first one as he hits the 3. A look at the Clemson Tigers, and they're starting 5, including the Hunters.
Can make plays off the bounce and make plays for their teammates as well.
Chase Hunter trying to get going, coming in, averaging 18, and he'll hit it and call a foul.
That's a big 3, baby, any day of the week. He plays with a lot of heart, a lot of energy.
Chase Hunter driving, lays it in.
Oh, baby.
You're playing 5-on-8 against them when they're at their defensive best. They are just furious.
They're playing the game Syracuse wants them to play, and they have a 22-point lead.
Working on James. McFarland outside the 3. Here's Hand to launch. He got it for 3-point land.
De menos, pero no pudo ejecutar al final del día. Zion James. Y veremos en Miami, que ha buscado incisivamente toda la noche los puntos en transiciones. ¿Lo han logrado?
Boy, this defense is so good, and they're so big, long, and athletic. Here's Miller, and he needed that. His team needed that.
And that's the guy they need to get going, because
back on the floor, 4 points on his 18th birthday, a couple of rebounds and assists. Dongo 3.
Nice, that's good. I'd like to see him get going. Looks like a better chemistry. It looks like a better cohesive team overall. And part of that is Cooper Flagg. He kind of pulls everybody. He does a lot.
Conference games for the ACC.
Which you talked about on Packers show just before we tipped off. Maddox, 3 ball. And the woes from deep out of high school. Isaiah Evans has 8. Here's a 3 for Dawson, no.
Forrest is able to knock it down. Duke is at its best offensively, attacking the paint, playing inside out, no doubt. Store, high arcer, no good off the rim. That's a good job by Mallow. Mayo with 5. Right into Flagg, gets him off his feet. No good, loose ball, Knipple with a board.
Out on a switch, tried to get around in front and get the steal, but that was a really good recovery by Cooper Flagg.
KJ Lewis gets inside, can't finish it, and Knipple down.
Colin Chandler hasta arriba. Con Brandon Garrison, Kobe Brea desde Logo. Completamente de su... Robinson aguanta el embate de Flagg, que levanta.
Curry, under 5 to shoot. Flagg may have gotten a piece.
In finishing, they spent a lot of time working with their guards on finishing around the basket.
Tough step-through shot by age gifts, but the mental gifts and fundamentals. Having the proper hand in the passing lane to come up with it, keep it in bounds, and to be able to go the distance.
There's the switch again. Malowacz on Davis.
Powell the pull-up. And he's fouled by Flagg. Open, back to Cadeau. Withers baseline. The scoop, no good, and it's Duke ball.
Well, you're better off just passing that. It was
6 field goals and a 15-2 Duke lead. Flagg gambles Ugachukwu into Gungba. There is a foul against the Duke freshman. Combined for 24. Miami is combined for 23. Swartz over Flagg. Threes are getting too far behind the play. They have one more to give. Swartz driving it, floating, and scoring. I tell you what,
to go into the locker room for halftime. Boswell elevates, 11-footer pure.
Great offense. Great offense, Gus.
That time backs it down. Flagg is back. Jakob Jonas picks it up. Gives LaHoy inside. And good. Before Sion James replaced him. Baseline, Boswell, and a foul. And that's Cooper Flagg, his third.
The Stanford Cardinal. On the move, Sellers. Too strong. And a big rebound.
Confidence right now. Needs to find that to help his Blue Devils team.
What a pass by Blackshear. Stojakovic a scoop and score with the right hand. He's got 6.
And he's been doing a great job.
Turning 18. Del Jones, freshman, taking the baseline. Got that pass free to Zachary with a shot clock starting to wind down. He'll hit it.
He's top in 4 different categories in the ACC. Whether it be scoring, rebounding, he's in the top 10 in 4 major categories.
Dylan Hunter got it.
Too many guys don't move well without the ball.
Lockett going strong. Lays it in again.
I'm saying, I watched the opportunities, more spacing, because the attention to him is so great.
Jones off the fake. It's an open look. Locken taps it out high to Hunter. Unbelievable. Here's Hunter on the move on Flagg. The pull up. He sticks it.
They needed that. Good mid-range jumper.
Dylan Hunter back to his brother. Chase wants to move and banks it in.
Downhill, baby. Downhill.
El pivoteo para Van Allen Lubin no permite ni un resquicio. Tapa doble. Cooper Flagg por delante. Talento y la disciplina de Flagg pues les podría redituar muy bien, y vean además los frutos que están cosechando. Rebote de Flagg, buena defensa con cierto temor a pesar de la enorme estatura que tiene. Maluak quiere tratar de sacarse el estaje para ir para Chapel Hill. El ambiente que vemos aquí básicamente es el que se va a ver allá. Y vienen de ganar también otra rivalidad porque es un triángulo realmente de universidades contra el Wolfpack.
Paul McNeil into the game for the Wolfpack. He's probably their best shooter, wearing number 2 on the line, really shuttling them in and out.
Yeah, the guys that come in are starters. His bench guys have been very productive to start this game.
Huntley Hopkins stripped by Flagg. 23-19 NC State. Styles was cooking early. He'll drive it this time. What a tough shot.
Confident by Dontre.
The Styles 8 points. He came in averaging 9. And they needed somebody to really explode. Oh, the rejection. Malawak said not in here.
Is continuing to go on extensive offensive run.
Shot clock at 3. McNeil with a step back, an excellent shooter. Can't drain it though. And Parker off to O'Connell. In the corner. Hurd will now drive and scoop it around, and out it goes. 5 to get off a shot now. Johnson. Harris with a shot clock down to 1. And Flagg converging, batted it away. 3-minute mark. He saw an opening there. Knipple shut it down. Shot clock to 3. Off the back iron. That won't drop by Harris. And the biggest heart you're going to find anywhere. We love him so much. This is the closest Wake has been since it was 17-13. And Salas. James to the other side of the iron, and another missed layup for Duke. And there have been a bunch of those in this first half. And a whistle. It's going to be a traveling foul. McFarland just buried a triple. And to drive it into paint and draws the foul. This was 6 on the shot clock. Here's Hand Jr. working on Cooper Flagg. A little bounce there, short. Fishman, the McDonald's All-American. He plays with a lot of joy. McFarland jumping into the paint. No, and a whistle. 7:06 shown on the clock.
Going in.
Came in 28 for 61 from 3. Brown on the drive, swatted away by Flagg again. Couple of blocks for him.
27 and Pitt by 29 in their last 2 games. #1 defensive team in the country. Their rim protection is outstanding. Tay Davis, who's heading. Shrewsbury has to kick it out to Alako. Duke doing a better job on this possession in their gap coverage on Tuesday night. Alako the kick, Shrewsbury the step in, and it goes and 1. Micah Shrewsbury, or Braden Shrewsbury, forgive me.
6 straight for the Blue Devils in the last half minute. Burnham, and he rolls it in. 9 now for
SMU is playing really good basketball.
Sure are. Here's the drive. Burnham had it deflected, pulled away by Sion James. Powell's hit one from the corner, gets around Flagg. Nice finish. Freshman Mustaf will drive. Dongo again, starting to try and exert his will on the game.
Against that zone again, and they just have too many weapons. And I give Georgia Tech a lot of credit the way they fought in the first half and got back in it, but just too many weapons.
O'Connor. Kick out. Billups. Amajuru. Here's Newton off the bounce. Goes right at Flagg and makes it a 4-point game.
And that's Newton.
Another tough shot by Haynes. 5 to shoot. O'Connor. Foul line pull up. That's his game, and he knocks it in.
He's really good 90% of the time.
Inside to Haynes. Newton. Haynes put back center.
Yet to score in the half. Christopoulos being bombarded by the crazies. Not sure he meant to pass it to Stevens, who then rattled out a 2. 7 for 26 from 3 for Duke. Dawson travel. Hard take right at Flagg. High arcer, and that goes in off the window. Adams pulls up rare, and he knocks down a foul line jumper.
Fight continues, and Duke is up 11, and they no doubt can sense it right now. Caleb Love draws the foul, and he's.
Ante Proctor con una diferencia considerable de tamaño. Carr, qué buena finta, ataca al aro. La falta y cuenta la canasta.
Scovens, tough shot. Flagg with yet another rebound. In the preseason poll this year in the Patriot League, where Colgate is expected to win again. Nice job by Malik Brown. Blocked that shot. And your football team now 8-0. The only Division I FBS team to have not trailed in a game at all this season. And they will try to go to 9-0 at North Texas. Good closeout by Flagg to make that a tough shot.
Foster. And he's had success taking on Malowatch at times. Good pass fake.
Withers has it blocked by Flagg. Now Davis. The switch. The drive. The kick. And the 3 for Seth Trimble.
Carolina had to have.
Absolutely, because the only time that you've really seen teams be physical with Duke this year and be successful was at Clemson. And so whenever you find that recipe with a OB,
Wake Forest really cold. 0 for their last 10. They have made a field goal in 7 minutes before that one.
Spiller started the year out here in the second. OB filling it up. 7 points for Cooper.
Reed wants it. Got a great look and a 3.
This was after Reed's game coming out of high school. And the Mustangs, when you consider not only trying to boost your NCAA tournament resume, but also your ACC tournament resume. Who gets that double?
Ran into a screen in the backcourt from Gungba. And here's Jerry Dang from deep on the right and score.
Man, he can shoot the basketball.
Third straight game for Miami. They do have Lynn Kidd, who is questionable with the ball right now. Finds A.J. Staten McCray, and his three-pointer off the rim will not go.
That in the nicest way possible.
Flagg up to 37% from 3 after struggling to start the year. Bethia misses a deep one.
What percentage of those slight shoves are good defense versus actual fouls is the follow-up question. Johnson 3. And Knipple with a rebound.
Again, Staten McCray with some good defense at the rim. Johnson for 3. Airballs it. Grabbed by
their forward, who's been playing exceptional basketball, out with a wrist injury. Baseline jump shot. First one off the mark. Yakuchonis, the foul. Patrick Gungba has also checked into the game. Here's Humrickhouse. Hangs on the lip of the wrist to 37. Yakuchonis turns the corner. The kick, the reversal. Humrickhouse. 0 for 17 for Illinois.
To grow up without Saunders.
Saunders at the foul line. Rhodey will get it back to him in the corner. He'll launch. And Malawi,
and he's got the mentality as well.
Looks like a linebacker. Saunders on the back down. Out of the double. Here's Rhodey. Wide open. Catches in a triple.
Runs down a 3 to stretch the lead out to 23.
Kofi gets a look from 3. Got a really good look and it won't drop.
Agarwal up top to Blakes. They'll swing it for Young, and Young can't cash in with a long one. Dunked by the big fella, and that's by design.
It absolutely is. And when you play for the Blue Devils and you get into the painted area, you're
first half, his second of the year.
That's enough for him.
Here's Wilkinson. And James the rebound.
I don't like that, but I think you do learn a little bit more. Kids listen a little bit more when you lose a game like that.
Petritus on the board, his second 3 of the night. He's got not. Wilkinson thought about it. Here's the kick out for Blackshear and another 3. 5 straight for Javon.
The pieces fit for this team. Now, whether that translates to them winning a championship, we will see.
6-4 lead off the free throws by Knipple. A rainbow 3 by Lucas Taylor. Grabbed by Knipple.
Okay, but just to close the loop on the whole Jimmy Butler thing, I know he didn't want to be there in Miami anymore. Thought he went about it the wrong way. But there's always been...
Washington, la cortina. Trimble. Flagg se iba a apuntar otro robo. Además tiene brazos larguísimos el número 2 de Duke. Davis tiene enfrente a Kaman Maluak. Buena maniobra. El balón hacia la esquina. Y este triple de...
Does for Taylor. He and Hill, the only 2 to average double figures for NC State. They have a lot of trouble scoring, but that one's going to be swished in by Styles. Points, also 9 rebounds.
And that's his spot, OB. He loves that corner. Has been successful there multiple times already in this game.
Styles feeling it. 2 more.
They with Dontre Styles is off time, which is rare. Oh, nice pass.
Billy Brooks in the kick out. Styles, they want him to shoot it. Shoot it, he does. And another 3. 1 seconds to get one up. Pass in. Long one here by Parker Jr. A lot of iron, but it dropped away. Hanging around despite the cold shooting in the second half. Another one on the way. Swished in this time by Styles. He's back at
field as he tries to post.
See a lot of jerseys being grabbed. A lot of bumping here. Parker will lift it and hit it.
Trey Parker has been spectacular.
Absolutely favors Duke. The Duke team that can create and maintain sustained rhythm throughout the course of the game. A little pace will help Duke.
Harris with a three-point attempt. Duke Harris. And again, keep an eye. 8 or 9 minutes, there was no rhythm. But now Duke has found theirs, and they're on a 7-0 run. Here's Hildreth. Can't connect, around and out, and a whistle. Salas wants badly to get it off. Shot clock down to 11. Long one coming, and off the back iron by Fredrickson. The three's just... Johnson getting it off for Harris. He knocks it down from three-point land. And Wake Forest with an opportunity to take the lead here. Will a three do it? Trayvon. 7:45 to go. Here's Salas. Way too strong. This went for the 6. Shot clock inside 10 now for the Eagles, who won 20 games last year, went to the NIT. That three off the mark by McFarland.
Detrás de la cabeza. No pudo terminar la jugada triple, pero ese talento individual se sigue mostrando, incluso en jugadas sin balón. Cuando se habla de la figura de Cooper Flagg.
The game against NC State. Shrewsbury hits the three, and that's what Micah Shrewsbury can do. That in quad one game. They just don't have as many of them as normal. Davis gets his own miss, kicks it out. Good pass. Knesny hits the three, and the three-point shoot. Possession in their gap coverage. Boy, good play by Mohammed to steal it. Burton's open and hits the three. Gives Sir Mohammed a lot of credit. Have rarely been put up by Duke freshmen. Things really difficult for Notre Dame without Marcus Burton on the floor. Malowicz down to the rebound. And
now on the defensive side, Austin from the corner, in and out. They get into the paint. Down on the drive, took a little bit of a hit there. Shot will be around and out. Shot clock at 10. Cross from downtown. Bingo. He's a good player.
And he's a guy that Duke does a good job with their length and being able to limit what they want, the first and second options.
Over in the corner, and a three, too strong, but Edwards able to get the rebound. Miller working on James. Fires to Cross for three. Not there. Tipped up, and we have reached out. And a three, and here you go.
And great opportunity.
A phenomenal two-time National Player of the Year. Way out there, and no good by Oquendo. 75-54, 6.5 to go. Yigitolu goes to the bench, or no, he has 4. He's staying in the game, and they're just firing now.
Good enough, but now you got to get down on this end. You got to get some better shots, and you got to convert.
Skip from Hammond. Lowell a three. And Muller, shooter in the league, coming into the ball game at 42%.
Wow, he's the point of that defense.
There's Lowell again. He rolls in a three. Difference here now. Blue Devils on their way to their 7th straight, and 11th overall. Lowell rattles in another three.
Have hit their last 4 from the field. That three will go.
Big shot.
Out of the corner.
That should know that.
The really big guy, 7'2".
Yeah.
Powell pull up. Now he got fouled by Flagg in front of the Duke bench. Now Knipple 2 to Malowicz in this half. Malowicz walling up Dago. George in the corner. No. And kept alive by Ryan.
Here's the Auburn transfer, Katie Johnson. Anderson a three. Johnson inside to Amajuru. Maddox a three. Great rebound effort by Billups. Back out to Maddox. Scoreless to start the second half. Had 7 in the first. Newton. And another contested three off the mark. Maddox to Billups. And George Mason, who's shooting. Maddox hits his first three of the
timeouts early in the game because they have trailed early.
Open three, that's Heyman, in and out. Pike grabbed the rebound.
Duke's already played 4 games against top 25 teams. Coming into the day, Louisville still receiving votes as Hepburn tries a three and puts it in. Through the ringer injury-wise.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, there's the obvious on the surface, which is Case and Pryor makes you better and more competitive, particularly in this matchup. But on the other side, not having bodies to be...
5 to shoot. Hepburn. Waterman.
Space, he's hard to cover, hard to contain.
Edwards draws 3, leads to an open Waterman.
Really interesting to see what they'll do in the ACC. One thing I do know is if finances matter, they have it to compete.
Hanley ends the scoring drop. Roots from the corner hits from downtown.
We talked about Auburn's schedule. Duke's 2 losses, neutral court losses to Kentucky and Kansas, one by 5, one by 3. They had a big win. And while we're on the topic, and I know he's watching, our buddy Dickie V is going to get more results. He's been through so many tests and so many rounds of treatment. Dick, I know you're watching.
When Auburn plays 5 out, I think they can get some drives in this one.
Deep one for Kelly, and he hits.
Wow.
He would. Chaney Johnson will take a 3.
Protect your paint and try to rebound.
Maldonado, good score, a Division II transfer, whips it to Moncrief. His second three-point attempt of the year is to join the league. Not taking the revenue share. And Brett Lashley's Mustangs just beating everybody anyway. Deep 3, no good from Maldonado.
Sure has. They got to run out Harris. Aggressive, and who's he going to? Corner ball wide open at the top. Store. Money. Yeah. Left him wide open, shot it right.
It's an 11-3 run for the Blue Devils. Townsend, short. Rebound James, the transfer. Vesar, good help there by Gillis. He finds Bryant. And it's off the back of the iron and a terrific rebound. 3 of the night. Arizona is 5 for 17 as a team. Bryant defended by Proctor. And Bradley had it blocked by Flagg.
Clear, sometimes the sportsmanship award goes to the dude where you just want to award. It's miscongeniality, right? That ain't the case here. He's a player, and he's a contributor. He's just that good of a dude. A lot of times we look at the officiating and say, well, they're not getting to the free throw line. Duke is. Well, it's like, it's the way the game's played.
They've also shot 29 threes.
That's what I'm saying.
El crossover. 5 para disparar. Kriisa la tapa. Llega de Duke. Y Kriisa vuelve a fallar.
Under 15 to shoot. Proctor all over the ball handler. Barker gets it back out to the perimeter. Wide open look for Rucker. And as Chris mentioned, 2 years on Proctor. Off the front rim. Long rebound. Allen's back. And another chance. You don't need to run a play for Malik Brown. He doesn't even want for that to happen. He is just in the right place at the right time all the time.
Ankle of Bayandongo getting caught up underneath Knippel's body on that possession. Fortunate to avoid a major injury, but get this win. I'm not sure if this is enough to get the Demon Deacons in, especially after the week they had last week.
It may not be. Turning and firing, Trayvon Spillers, who comes in as CDW for Wake Forest. And as Salas and Hildreth go, that's the way Wake goes.
It really is. They take the majority of the shots on the offensive end, but they also set the tone.
Nothing falling yet.
With John Shire looking for offense, so he brings Isaiah Evans off the bench. Slim, who had 19 points to lead the Blue Devils against Florida State.
Wants Reed to touch it. Trying to move Flagg out of the way. Flagg will commit the foul. With 8:01 to go here.
Defensive desperation also. Louisville and Clemson are both on their heels.
That shot nearly went. Reed will pick up the foul.
situation to be able to take care of business behind it.
The Wake's already had 2 shot clock violations. Spillers just beats it, but actually went up and over the rim, and so that
called John Shire a visionary. 3 seasons ago, before he became the head coach, already had contacted Rachel Baker because he, of course, very close to Cooper Flagg's favorite NBA player, who happens to be celebrating his 27th birthday today and won Jason.
Every play.
So this very important stretch for Caleb Foster. Reason being, Caleb Foster does not have a field goal since the Miami.
they want Lockett to touch it every time down. Shot clock a factor. It's at 6. Another bucket for the big guy.
He took right there. Right now, won 2 great games. Beat Kentucky and they beat Texas on the road. My feeling is if Alabama wins that game and Duke loses.
Score for Duke. Davis again. He's been the offense in this half. And boy, he can hit a turnaround. Jair Davis.
Sí, sí, sí. Y me parece que corresponde a la realidad. Y una muñeca impecable en esa comparación.
Here tonight. Maybe he wouldn't have heard them even if they had.
BC with the possession arrow. It's been loud. It's been lively, too, thanks to the outstanding effort by the students. Take it away.
Cooper Flagg. Esta es la algarabía. Pero este es un barril de pólvora 24/7 cuando se habla de esta arena y cuando se habla de Dogger. Y viene el primer robo de una lesión en la rodilla. Pero esta es una de las mejores plazas como locales en toda la nación. ¿Cuánto influye esta fanaticada en el peso que tiene este?
And off the fingertips of Malowacz, and back comes Notre Dame. Didn't execute it, but the right idea and the right play to make. How good of a matchup is this? Davis and Flagg.
What ends up being the result of that is Cooper Flagg picking up his 3rd foul on the underneath out of bounds play.
Quite a turnaround there. They got it right the first time. And picked off.
Somebody's open. And they waited too long to get off a good shot. Fade away. How about that from Traore? Was back in the lineup to start this year, but then 7 games ago was replaced by James. Little forearm shiver there on Flagg.
This is a team that passes and moves the ball, and if you can get that kind of a team to do more dribbling than they want to do, then that helps you. But Virginia Tech just can't get inside.
How about the steal?
Powell, 6-point per game scorer on the year. He's got 7 and a chance for more, muscling his way into Flagg.
Edwards pushing for now. Edwards against Flagg, and the scoop shot is good. Edwards in double figures.
Play. A lot of hands.
Kenai Rubes draws a foul on Cooper Flagg, and that is number.
Smith just didn't hold his ground, and then he gets the putback dunk and kind of silences the crowd a little bit.
Scott.
We've heard enough about recruiting rankings probably to last a lifetime for this Duke freshman class. Foster was number 24 player in the class last year. A very talented young player.
Zeke Mayo models his game after Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Dickinson, oh, good help from...
That's ultimately what's going to allow them to achieve at the level they expect to achieve. It's also going to be what allows individuals to achieve at the level they expect to achieve.
Punta de la llave buscando en inmediato al poste bajo, defiende Cooper Flagg. La defensa es buena. El rebote para Owe. Brandon Garrison. Andrew Carr, le zafan el balón. Buena defensa otra vez de Flagg. Proctor.
And you are an ACC basketball fan. There's a reason why that name is familiar, Chris. Malowacz with a block shot.
Former Clemson Tiger.
Later in the month, hey, look, we're pretty steady defensively. We got to continue to evolve and get better on offense. And how about Watkins' lob just kind of rolled in for him.
And that will go to Trey White. Yakuchonis, Ivisic, Humrickhouse. Ball stolen. Here's Flagg.
He shoots left-handed in practice and makes a lot of them, by the way. But he was con to nipple this week.
They get it with another one. This one a little too strong.
8 hours from Canada is going to feel like he's flying on the 8 hours back home now. Flagg with a block shot.
That's just a smart.
He was just the outlet on the underneath out of bounds play, but shows his ball handling ability to get the first deuce.
Marcus Hill averaging 13 points a game. A little too strong, around and out. Rebound tip.
That possession, rimming it out. And Knipple, the last time on this floor, had a career-high 25 points against Miami, 6 of 8 from 3, so he's happy to be back in the comfort.
But wait till you watch it. It's tremendous.
I'm looking forward to it.
Great insight. Pull-up pop here by Parker. And one they desperately needed. So look at the penetration. Harris wants to drive it. Off the window, and that was up against Flagg. Fredrickson, he can help. Stepping back beyond the 3, nothing there. Shot clock down to 1. Here's the heave, and that won't go. And a rebound.
Regaining possession for BC.
Eagles just 9 and 8. Kelly up top, around and out. Just 1 and 5 in the ACC. His defense just swarming on a penetration attempt.
And Hastings has an advantage inside. They just can't get him the basketball.
Boy, forced an ugly shot and never denied. And a good block by Venning. And Junior. And will knock that in from mid-range.
El escenario fue particularmente especial. De hecho, ¿te acuerdas que había boletos entre $8 y $10,000 para ver justamente la despedida de Mike Krzyzewski?
In a row, each of them by 20 or more points. 9 in a row overall, the last 6 by 20 or more.
And last time that happened was 1999.
Pretty comfortable right now. Approaching the 12-minute mark here in the second half. Dunn again. Can't finish that one. Rebound tapped in, controlled by...
SMU without a field goal the last 3.5 minutes. And there's some of that length we were talking about. You know, you got Miller. Oquendo. He's just been off here today with that 3.
And he hasn't done it yet this year.
11 for Knipple. Right around his season average. George couldn't finish off the window, and then James.
Maddox off the bounce. Tough floater, left it short. Numbers for Duke.
The pull-up.
Really incredible.
Here comes Jalen Anderson. Outstanding three-point shooter. The mid-range is there.
Number 1 recruiting class in the country coming into the year. 5 to shoot. Smith, floater, rims out. And they set
in this game. Pettiford used the screen, too strong off the glass. Duke, and then Duke roared back, led by Evans. Jones, little stop and go, lost it.
By 5, Duke to Kansas by 3. Here is Arrington, the man who has both those assists, trying to flip it over Flagg, and James.
He's having some fun with it too. 7-point game. Harris, no good. Nipple comes and crashes. Also impacted that play, coming over and knocking it away a little bit from Dickinson. Harris behind a screen of Dickinson. That's a silencer. He knocks down a 3. The all-time leading scorer at Wisconsin, Green Bay. Another rare shot, and it falls for Adams. He's taken 2. He's knocked them both. Flagg is guarding Coit, and he uses the screen off to the left. Nice shot by Brown to keep it.
Awaka back into the game for Arizona. Bradley, step back, misses the 3, and a good rebound a little bit. He did not look like himself, and he is in the corner right now, not moving around a lot.
To make a play. That's really it. Rarely do we run a play to score anymore. If anything, that's just bad defense.
Flagg with a late recovery and the rejection on Bailey. Ahead.
Tiene Kentucky otra vez. Kriisa. Brandon Garrison. La falta. Cayó en la...
Rucker. And the senior from Baltimore pulls Army back.
Have an open basket. He's just got to roll to that rim, roll hard, and catch it.
Off the bounce, Keon Burns, no, Malawach.
Up above the rim.
Should shoot. Doesn't have to be spectacular. He's got to be dependable this year for Duke.
Kellen Tynes just inside the three-point line, left it well short.
And John Shire's done a great job with that. They are in a really good rhythm, especially for this point in the year.
Gumba along the baseline, ready.
Powell, a strong move, and it's Cooper Flagg to say not this time. Here's Evans.
And in effect, Powell at the 4. Trimble. Whoa, Flagg got all of that, and James runs it down for Duke. Davis guarded by Foster.
And he's had success taking on Malowacz at times. Good pass fake.
Withers has it blocked by Flagg. Boy, Flagg went all. Feels like a huge possession here for Carolina. The crossover by Davis. Cadeau, what a pass. What a block. Flagg got it. Lubin couldn't finish it. Cooper Flagg.
R.J. Davis has not scored in this game since the first couple minutes of the second half. Duke's switching and their size have been really difficult.
And the size a factor there.
3 to 7-footer, 9 points a game. Backing into Malowacz. And it was Cooper Flagg who came over for the deflection. Johnson does not need a lot of room to get a shot off. Here's Hildreth now attacking. Spillers blocked by Flagg. And it's kicked out of play by James. It'll be Wake Forest ball. But
getting back into action. And those are shots that we've been used to seeing Proctor knock down.
Blocked by Flagg. That triggers the break. Proctor one-on-one on him.
A hammer.
Handling it against pressure. Seeing the help come over.
And Nitu just had it rejected by Flagg. Here's Knipple.
Defensive end of the floor is different when Malik is available.
Brody looking for a screen. Great pass, and Flagg with a deflection. Virginia wanted goaltending as we can on his status tonight. Here's Buchanan getting inside, but can't finish that.
And Buchanan has to dunk that one, Obi. We saw him drop the hammer.
For Duke this evening. Starling guarded by the much taller freshman Flagg. Starling rejected by Flagg on a three-point try.
By the way, I'm waiting for one Syracuse player.
The kid that drove 8 hours from Canada is going to feel like he's flying on the 8 hours back home now. Flagg with a blocked shot.
That's just a smart foul by Bell.
El pivoteo para Van Allen. Lubin no permite ni un resquicio. Tapa doble. Cooper Flagg por delante. Ahora toma el balón. Bono pudo liquidar a la segunda y a la tercera. Le cae el balón a R.J. Davis. Flotadora tampoco. Abajo. Tapa de Flagg. No hay manera.
Oh. Done. If it's the pass or it's the rebound, in this case, a whole lot of scoring to bring them back and take the lead. And a rejection by Flagg. It went out of play. 5 to get off a shot now. Johnson. Harris with a shot clock down to 1. And Flagg converging, batted it away. 0.
Did not accompany the team to Dallas taking on SMU. Chris Carroll coached the team and got his first win as the Duke head coach.
Then he rolling inside. Flagg with the stop.
And again, that's what he does. It's not all about what he always thinks is going in.
Came in 28 for 61 from 3. Brown on the drive, swatted away by Flagg again. Couple of blocks for him. And a whistle. Connects. One and done on that possession for Duke. Leggett jumping in the paint. And Flagg got in there and deflected it on the other end quickly. He recovered fast.
Now for Cooper Flagg. He averages 17. Yigatolu in traffic. Had it blocked. And Duke comes away with a... SMU without a field goal the last 3.5 minutes. And there's some of that length we were talking about. You know, you got Miller 6 feet deep.
And SMU is playing really good basketball.
Sure are. Here's the drive. Burnham had it deflected. Pulled away by Sion James.
We've been talking. We measure things.
they didn't win the conference tournament. I don't know that they get in.
Hayes is sent away by Cooper Flagg. He wanted a goal.
Anderson delivers with a mid-range, no good. Cleared by Williams, no good, and blocked at the rim.
Edwards trapped on the baseline, might have gotten it deflected by Isaiah Evans.
Auburn makes a mistake, and Duke turns it into a 3 in transition defense.
Kelly through traffic. Brown might have gotten a piece of it. But boy, has it been fun. Isaiah Evans has checked in for the first time this half. And Brown makes another good defensive play.
And Cooper on the offensive end of looking inside in that high-low.
Quick crossover and a block there by Flagg. A guy who can impact the game as much at the deep. Ryan's second of 8, 3 of the night. Arizona is 5 for 17 as a team. Bryant defended by Proctor. And Bradley had it blocked by Flagg.
Players in a position to make a play. That's really it. Rarely do we run a play to score anymore. If anything, that's just bad defense.
Flagg with a late recovery and the rejection on Bailey. Ahead for Foster.
With one another. I mean, that's ultimately what's going to allow them to achieve at the level they expect to achieve. It's also going to be what allows individuals to achieve at the level they expect to achieve. Like Cooper Flagg's not going to.
Ortega Owe que se mueve abajo de la canasta, la tapa de Flagg, demostrando que también tiene defensa. Owe. Brandon Garrison. Andrew Carr, le zafan el balón, buena defensa otra vez de Flagg. Proctor a correr la duela.
Again, 5 out, meaning all 5 of Duke players are outside that three-point line, and because of how they shoot it, that contributes to that spacing.
There's the defensive presence as a help defender. Curry, under 5 to shoot. Flagg may have gotten a piece. You're the name Allen Spack, and you are an ACC basketball fan. There's a reason why that name is familiar, Chris. Malawatch with a block shot.
Former Clemson Tiger.
Caught up underneath Knippel's body on that possession. Fortunate to avoid a major injury, but a turnover on the underneath out of bounds play. Started this game. It's just different. You see Caleb Foster on the floor, who gave them very good minutes against North Carolina and didn't play the game prior against Wake Forest. Looking for offense, so he brings Isaiah Evans off the bench. Slim, who had 19 points to lead the Blue Devils against Florida State, running the floor now, could very well have found the opportunity.
James open.
Cooper Flagg's favorite NBA player, who happens to be celebrating his 27th birthday today, and one Jason Tatum.
Proctor for a triple.
Bo Bowen working against Foster. Tried to wrap it through traffic. Here is Flagg. Thomas in front of him. Cooper on the layup, and Isaiah Evans has got 17 now. And Cooper Flagg with the steal. And here he goes. Lay it up. My gosh.
Jakučionis, Ivisic, Humrigaus. Ball stolen. Here's Flagg. Here comes Joe Tate. Wham! With the right.
Really Fudge hit 28. Knipple on the drive, and that one denied. Kobe got up there high for the block, and stolen away by Cooper Flagg. Oh, he went for the dunk. Oh, right in his face, run. Over the top, Saunders, that one interrupted. Duke got back really well defensively to break it up.
Yeah, how about the play by Knipple? Not
first half, he looked at big time
against Clemson. Yeah, John Shar said you were right. He was under the weather. He started to cramp up late in that game. The turnover, James picks it off. Flagg on the run.
Kid from Nebraska State, Wisconsin, played Wisconsin Lutheran High School under an undefeated season. Got younger brother. Uh-oh. Give it back.
Flagg to Knipple over the top.
It's amazing how I've overcome
It
this.
is. It really is. It's the story of the year, really, quite frankly, off the floor.
But West did
Joseph.
better.
He threw it away. Here's Evans again. The Duke turnover and a 6-point lead.
This very important stretch for Caleb Foster. Reason being, Caleb Foster does not have a field goal since the Miami game.
Wow.
He's had 3 field goals in that game. Doesn't have one since. This is still the time where you're playing a ACC game, so you got to play somebody.
Yeah, they're trying to cut back on the ACC game.
Here's steal by Flagg and the open floor.
Hey! Proctor knocking down the first one as he hits the 3. A look at the Clemson Tigers and their starting 5, including the Hunters. And Shefflin, a big body in the middle. On the run and at it. Under a minute here at Clemson. Stolen away by Cooper Flagg. And Flagg ahead of the field slams it with 2 hands.
Like I said, Lampkin is in drop coverage. You're going to get a wide open shot.
And it's knocked away from Starling at the end of the half. Brown heaves it. And Brown back rims it. That's not necessarily true. There's a guy across the way I haven't met yet. 14-point lead Starling, and Syracuse begins the half with another turnover. And then J.J. Starling picks up his...
No había cortado la canasta, no le mandaron el balón. Ahora R.J. Davis. Ian Jackson para Cadó. Otro pase picado, el robo de Cooper Flagg. Atento, y la zancada tremenda, el pase picado. Fenomenal el tiro del australiano.
Lo importante es darte cuenta rápido que viene ese doble equipo, para entonces poner a rotar a la defensiva con los pases.
Segundo, robo para... Otro robo de Cooper Flagg.
Se quita de las manos.
As are coming in are starters. His bench guys have been very productive to start this game.
On the offense, stripped by Flagg. Cooper Flagg with a theft. Proctor finds it over. Flagg has already been named ACC Player of the Week 3 times, Rookie of the Week 6 times. And good deny defense as he plucks it away. Made the save to Gillis, and then they fire it out.
Would have hurt him even if they had.
BC with the possession arrow. It's been loud. It's been lively, too, thanks to the outstanding effort by the students. Taken away here by Cooper Flagg. Bouncing for Knipple and a triple.
Pero este es un barril de pólvora 24/7 cuando se habla de esta arena y cuando se habla de Nugget. Y viene el primer robo de balones, el primero de la noche para Cooper Flagg y en la primera
Follow after the back comes Notre Dame. Didn't execute it, but the right idea and the right play to make. How good of a matchup is this? Davis and Flagg got some help from Knipple. Another Notre Dame turnover.
Picking up his 3rd foul on the underneath out of bounds play.
Quite a turnaround there. They got it right the first time. And picked off. Flagg on the attack. Look at the slam!
Been able to get back in this game. They've mixed up their defense a little bit and been more aggressive, being able to touch the paint. You see that turnover by Boobie Miller.
Great anticipation there by Flagg.
And if you can get that kind of a team to do more dribbling than they want to do, then that helps you. But Virginia Tech just can't get inside.
How about the steal? Malawach to Flagg.
Assists. He's got 2 steals. He's got a block shot.
Yep. In traffic, knocked away, and he picks up a turnover. Flagg resets.
Most opportunity to advance. Now, they're the ones, they're the hardest to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Panthers and Blue Devils. Here's Flagg after the turnover. He'll leave it. Proctor will finish.
Oh, there's Flagg with the steal and draws a foul on Darius Maddox.
For George Mason, and they've only attempted 3 in this game.
Picked off by O'Connor. Tippy towing the sideline. Thunderous by Cooper Flagg.
But their defense has been outstanding, and in particular, I think Tyrese Proctor's pressure on the ball has really cut off the point of attack.
Flagg wins it back, then draws a foul. And
explain to me how the ball popped back out of the rim.
Well, I don't understand the science of it, but the ball has to clear the net, and that's why it's not 2 points. But that would be Malawach's first miss.
And Duke's scoring drought now nearing 3 minutes.
A contested rebound.
Hadley cuffs it up. Flagg tips it to his man, Malik Brown, who is tripped. by catch and shoot. Evans off the mark. Tapped away by Cooper Flagg. That's just a heady play by the 17-year-old.
After a switch, Evans the drive, had it knocked away, and it belongs to Auburn with numbers. And Baker Mazzara threw it away. Now Duke in train, led by Evans. Jones, little stop and go, lost it. 2-on-1. Knipple, James, and the SEC. But tonight, two of the best teams in their respective conferences, two of the best teams in the country, going toe-to-toe here in Durham.
Boy, Con Knipple has not. That was his first open look at the game.
Mayo models his game after Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Dickinson, oh, good help from Flagg, and there's one of those X factors Cooper Flagg brings.
Kitchen pass just went right into that shot. John Shire's gone to his bench. Malik Brown, Sion James both into the game. Flagg with a steal. Shovel pass Proctor. His second three of the...
And then losses to Lipscomb and Presbyterian on the road. So a slow start for the Terriers. Deep in the clock, here's Flagg with an intercept. Caleb Foster bobbles it. Right.
That's a good thing. Did he force the issue a little bit? Yes. Is it going to be a great learning experience? Absolutely. But the fact that he wanted the ball in that situation is one of the most important things.
Flagg patiently steps in. Is 2 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3 for 5 points. And they're up by 49. And Flagg pokes that ball away, and he knows he's not going to track it down.
If you...
Rucker got himself in a tough spot, turns it over. Here comes Flagg. And then the reach into a 26-point game. Flagg got a hand in the pass, and then the last to touch was Scovin, so it's Duke basketball. And he's picked up where he left off. 9 already, Chris.
Just an easy release. He is an elite shooter.
Flagg the steal and immediately fouled. Maine with the basketball first in their navy uniform with the sky blue lettering and white trim. Ball slapped away from Clayton. Flagg then lost it. Clayton keeps the dribble. Dribbins pass knocked away. Here comes Cooper Flagg.